Out. How you guys doing out there, man? Pub Sports Radio, your boy MMA Locker Room right here. I got my boy MMA Unhinged right there on the right of me. How you doing today?
It's brilliant. It's dark at the moment in England. It's 2:15 a.m. in the morning, and we've got some exciting fights on this weekend, and I absolutely can't wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We definitely got some exciting fights this weekend, man. We're going to be talking about the UFC fight night coming up, and that's Paul Felder versus Dos Anjos. We're going to be talking a little bit about Bellator fights. Also, we're going to be giving you the exclusive news on what's going on Bellator, LFA, One Championship, and of course, UFC. But hey, I want to let you guys, I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes for everybody to get in the club to let you guys know we got an exclusive interview coming for you guys today on Seconds Out, so you guys better tune in and get ready. Lenny, right now, can you run through the chat? Give some people in the chat some love real quick.
Oh, damn. Let me go in the comments. We got Bloodthirsty MMA in the chat. Thank you for support. We got Josh, my 2 cents. We got Pub Sports Radio. That's us. You hit the subscribe button down below. We subscribe and make sure you hit that bell as well to make sure when so you know when they go live. You got Alex Leon in the chat. Thank you for joining. We got Kevin Wallace also in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. The support is absolutely incredible. Who else we got in the chat? We got Dr. Sanjay in the chat as well. So yeah, I thank you all guys for joining. We got an exclusive interview with the fighter coming up shortly, and I'll let Millz take over from here.
All right. So we got enough people in there right now. Without no further ado, I like to introduce one of the up-and-coming MMA rising superstars. He likes to go by the Ultimate Warrior Under God, the one and only Impa Kasanganay, coming in with a record of 8-1 in the UFC. How you doing, my man?
Hey, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, Seconds Out. Man, we give you guys all the best information, all the exclusive stuff too. So right now, we're just going to get right into it, man. Where are you at right now?
Hey, man, I'm in Miami.
Hanging
out. Been enjoying myself a little bit, getting some training. I'm here down in actually Deerfield Beach, really training with the guys in Sanford MMA. Been good, really been good. Been Coach Hoof, Coach Jones, Coach Kami, Coach Sean, everybody, man, been really, really good. And all the training partners like Phil Haas, and I've been getting work in, Big Steve, Lynn Bissell, man, so many people. Appreciate that, thank you. Man, been great work. Coach Wagner Rocha, man, there's been some really, really good guys. Rode a sideboard the other day down at Fight Sports, so been a fun day, man. We get some fun week of work so far.
Man, Lenny, you was telling me something about Sanford MMA a little bit before the show, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Sanford MMA, they have some killers over there. We got Gilbert Burns. He fights at 170 pounds, and he walks around at like 210. He's absolutely massive when he's not fighting.
Hey, yeah, he's a solid dude.
Yeah, you got Leonard Vassell over there as well. You got some incredible names over there. But the training partners over there, as you said, there is beneficial for you. But which one is most surprised you?
The most what?
Which training partners most surprised you?
I'll say really most surprised me, man. But there's so many good guys. Like I didn't know Randy Costa was here, man. We've interacted on Twitter. We've talked to each other through social media, and then I ran into him. It was just cool to see my guy, man. He's a good dude. And man, Philip Haas, man, tank of a human being, man. He hit that 18-second knockout. Was super awesome training partner, man. It's kind of been showing me the way around here too, man. And just a lot of good guys, and learning from Coach Rocha. You see Tyler Ray, man, coming up on the regional / national level, right? You see just so many good guys, man. You'd be surprised, man. Working with Lynn Bissell, he's so strong, but so good too. So it's been some good guys, man. Some good guys to work with. The guy I fought my first pro fights down here, Garrett Fosdick, and we've been able to work together too, man. It's awesome to see people growing together and pushing each other. On saying, man, you see so many people, man. So it's like you almost lose count of how many guys are on the map, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's a blessing to be here.
Yeah, especially coming from North Carolina, right? It's definitely a different scenery out there after you get done working out in the gym, right? You get on that beach, and it makes that workout feel a lot better, right?
Man, it feels good. I've been to the beach every single day. I went surfing this past weekend in the tropical storm. Not a good idea.
Wait, brother. You went surfing?
Yeah.
Oh, brother, there we go. That's what's up.
Let's send y'all some videos, man. That's a lot of fun. There's a tropical storm this weekend, so I knew the waves would be a little bit better. It wasn't a smart idea on my part, but it was fun, man. It was fun.
Man, Speaking of fun, man, before we get into, you know, a little bit of your little rise in MMA, man, I just want to know, when you're walking out that locker room into that octagon, what's going through your head? You know, like, is there a certain song that you're playing? Is there a certain quote that somebody gave you? Are you in a murder, kill mode? Or are you in a relaxed, relative state of mind?
Man, I'm more like, if anything, I'm more in a relaxed, relative state of mind. I'm very focused, you know, but I'm having a lot of fun. It's like, it's where I love to be. It's very peaceful for me. So it's not like I'm like all hyped up, trying to fight so many people. I'm more like, let's go, let's fight, and let's do what we love. My walkout song is a worship song from my church, Elevation Worship, and it's Call Upon the Lord. So I'm usually singing that or singing another worship song in my head. That keeps me just like in a peaceful state. I mean, I'm ready to get after, ready to get going, you know?
Definitely.
So when you earned your UFC contract, it was in August, and that same month you fought in the UFC. You had a really quick turnaround, and it seemed like that fight got announced on the contender series, you versus Maki Pitolo. How did that really come around?
One more time, you said after that? What was your last part?
I said that you got your contract in August, then you made your debut the same month, and then you were fighting. It kind of got announced the same show that you were fighting Maki Pitolo. How did that get announced?
Oh man, so the UFC actually gave up my number, and so I kept getting all these phone calls, these text messages, and my agent goes, "Hey man," he kept trying to call me, but I was like, I don't know, like, why I'm getting all these phone calls from numbers I don't know. There's like people from all over the world, like through WhatsApp, through my phone. So I didn't want to be rude on TV, and I'm sitting there, and my phone's going off. So like, I'm gonna wait till after I get out. And what happened was that the UFC already offered me a fight, whether I got my contract or not. Nick Maynard was gonna offer me a fight to fight Maki, because I guess he was gonna fight, had a pull out or something, and Maki wanted a quick turnaround, and he was having my fight, and my agent trying to call me. And I told my agent, I told Lou, I said, hey, I always say yes to fights. I'll never turn down a fight. And I said, hey, if I don't answer the phone, just say yes for me. It's okay. Like, you have the right to say yes for any of my fights. Just tell them I'll sign it and send the contract my way. And before you know it, the UFC already said it to Dana White and told him that I accepted the fight. And I'm looking at him like, I accepted a fight? Whatever, let's go. So I knew I was decided to fight, man, and, you know, answer the question that Dana had on the 22nd, then it got moved to 29th. But, man, I love to fight, and just having that be announced on the contender series really helped me out a lot, and big blessing for real.
Man, speaking about a blessing for real, it seems like some people are born to fight. You know, some people been fighting since they were 4 years old and stuff like that. But if I was listening to stuff correctly, I mean, you have a background in accounting, and it's not just that. You also played football as well. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you only start fighting in 2017?
Yeah, man. So went to college. I was playing football. So I started playing football my senior year of high school, played in college. Then my last semester of college, I was, you know, finishing up accounting, thinking I'm going to be a CPA or, you know, work at like Deloitte or Price Waterhouse or something like that. And then I ended up working at this financial technology company called Avid Exchange where I was doing accounting. But I was like working on that through college, doing internships. And my last semester, I was like, man, like, I love MMA. I'm getting ready for football, my senior year football season, goes to go to the NFL. And I saw guys getting better at football doing MMA. And man, the second I got on the mat, I'm like, this is what I really need to do. Like, I prayed about it. I feel like this is where God's called me. And I took my first fight after a couple weeks of training. That was fun. And I won my amateur fight. And then I took about a year off so I could focus on work and figure I was going to do post-college, and then got right back into it in 2018. So it's been a lot of fun, man. It really is.
Yeah, that's a quick rise right there. I mean, you got people that's been training their whole life that still can't get into the UFC. And I mean, you had your quick debut on the Contender Series. That was actually like a while back, and then you took like a year off. What did you do in that year off on your first Contender Series debut?
So the first Contender Series, man, my debut, you know, we won the fight, didn't get the contract. We kept trying to get fight after fight after fight, like literally 7 fights total, dropped out. And we were just trying to get fights. So I kept training, man. I found different ways to challenge myself. I said, every Thursday I should be able to make weight. So like tomorrow, my commitment for the rest of my career is that by Thursday I can make weight on Friday morning weigh-ins, and then be able to fight on Saturday. So for me, it's like I always kept that as a goal. So I had different ways to challenge myself. I kept working with guys, you know, very much gym in North Carolina, with guys like, you know, Brian Barberini came in town, or when Scott Holtzman had a fight, or when John Salter had a fight. helping them get ready, and then like learning in between with the guy quarters me like Diego Costa, who's down here with me in Miami or in South Florida, and then just working on different things, been obsessing over this, learning. Teammates like Joe Selecki made his UFC debut at the UFC December card. I think it was December 8th last year. So then I was just kept trying to get on the big shows, like take those short notice fights, whether I see somebody drop out, watching like Twitter, watching like ESPN, just whatever I could see that there's a fight or somebody dropped out. And man, I stayed active and really just started falling in love and with the training, with the process. And I knew my time was going to come. So I said that I'm not going to worry about if I'm ready. I'm just going to make sure that when that time comes, I'm going to be ready to fight. And then I got my second Contender Series fight, and man, I was blessed. Even before the second Contender Series fight, I got offered the LFA title, but due to coronavirus, the travel bans happened. And like literally that weekend, they cut off all travel, and I had to wait until August to fight. So I was going to fight in March, and I had to move until March 20th, I think, and I had to wait till about this past August to fight. But man, God knew what he was doing, and it honestly helped me so much.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, I'll jump straight on. Oh, have we lost him? Oh, no, he's there. So you fought in the Fight Island in your last fight. Oh, are we good?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom called me. I was trying to tell her.
So in your last fight, you fought in Fight Island, and not many fighters can say that. Could you kind of give us like a detailed experience, how it felt to fight in Fight Island and what it was like?
Fight Island's the best, man. Like what the UFC's done with it, what the UFC's done with just to make everything happen during coronavirus, like Dana White, the UFC, their staff, it's incredible what they're doing. So you go to Vegas first, right? If you're in the United States, you get a charter. You stay there for about 2 days, and you get quarantined one day, and then you're allowed to be on the property, on the campus at this hotel. Then you work out, you do whatever you need to do. You get all the Uber Eats, they give you extra per diem, and then you go on the charter flight with Etihad. And man, that was the best flight. First class flight, business class, everything. You have a bed there. You're flown in. You the royal treatment. There's like pointing which way to go, like to get to like the venue and or to get to the hotel, get to the bus. Like they have the best staff, great food on the flight. Then you get to the W in Abu Dhabi, man, one of the best hotels in the world. It's on a marina. It's on a yacht club. It's a Formula One racetrack. It's one of the best experiences in the world. The hotel staff, like they cheer you on when you come in, but they do everything they can to make you comfortable too. Wash all your clothes for you. The food there, they have it. Like it's covered by the UFC. It's covered by the hotel, so we get whatever food we want when we're there. But they also make us meals if you're a fighter. So I had my dad there, which is a huge honor. You know, he's never cornered me before, never seen the behind the scenes of a fight. Feels great to have him there. Brian Barberina, praying for him. He just got out of the hospital and just to get his fight moved. But I'm excited for him to be back. And one of my best friends in the world, Diego Costa, came out there with me, man. We were just having a great time. And they were going for bike rides. I was hanging at a hotel, beautiful balcony. Man, the venue, the setup, man, you get your hands wrapped by some of the best cut men. Man, Mr. Bob, shout out to him. Right? I think he's actually from London, if I'm not mistaken. And then we head over to the venue, man. Like, Yas Island, the beach, the whole staff out there, they're really cool. They're helping you, whatever you need. And just spending time in the water, spending time on the beach. And then the best part about it, man, getting the fight. Though the fight didn't go my way, like, just being out there, man, it's an honor. It's my second fight in the UFC. And knowing that, you know, to me, it's like a sign of, like, what's to come. Like, man, I believe that there are a lot of great big moments in my career. And that was like a taste of it. That was a taste of, like, being on the international stage where the whole world is watching.
Yeah.
And getting to fight such a solid prospect. And, you know, Joaquin, he came to fight. Great shot, man. And he's doing what he's going to fight Jordan Wright soon, so be tuning into that fight. But, man, you know, whether we fight again down the road or we don't, man, I'm like, hey, I'm excited again. And then maybe back in January when I get a fight again, or in February, I'll be cleared in December, but I'll probably fight in January, February. I think they're going back out there anyway, so go get a victory out there. I mean, it just tells a better story to me. And, man, I couldn't even explain, like, everybody on staff just wants to get to know you, like, at the hotel. Like, they want to take pictures. They want to talk to you. Like, they're really MMA fans. They're, like, asking you questions. You know, my family being from Congo, you meet some of the best people. So many Africans, many people from Rwanda, people are like neighbors, and you asking them their story, like, what are they doing? And a lot of people out there on work visas, and they're building their dreams. And that's just cool for me to see. And they made my dad, shout out to the UFC and everybody there, because they made my dad feel like like he was the fighter. They were like asking him questions,
yeah.
took pictures. Paul Felder shouted him fighting this weekend, and all the guys back there, but all the announcers, like they had him in their interview too, and like it was just cool to have him there, man. It really, really meant a lot. Like Michael Chiesa, those guys, they're just talking to him and asking him and camera, everybody, man. They really made him feel special, and for him to have that experience, and of course I want him to corner me again one day, but at least for that being the first time, I was super, super honored, man.
Yes, sir. I mean, speaking of Fight Island, I mean, true fans know, even coming off of a loss, you're still one of the top prospects in the division. Do you think fans these days are too quick to forget about a fighter after a loss, or did you let any of that affect you? Because it seems like after this loss, to be quite honest, everybody's post and retweet about you was nothing but positivity.
No, man. I think people are kind of connected with how the fighter carries themselves. Like, I think a lot of fighters mess up. Like, I'm all for, like, claim victory, go do what you need to do, go take this guy out. But some people get so disrespectful, people kind of get tired of it, like, even on the inside. So when you carry yourself a certain way that's really not true to you, or just not respectful, like, being a professional athlete, which is what we are, right? You want to be paid like a professional athlete, you got to act like it. No matter how it is, man, like, whether we claim victory or we suffer a loss or take a loss, like, we got to treat people with, like, love and respect. And for me, I guess people were just super cool about it, man. Like, I don't know, I was honest after the fight and, like, hey, you did have a great shot. What are you supposed to say? Like, man, that was a stupid, like, then it's like, well, how did you look, right? For me, it's like, hey, man, I lost, but trust me, watch my next fight. Watch the next one after that. I'm going to go to that 50 total fights at least. Be a middleweight champion, light heavyweight champion. Like, I'm not here just to do something small or be comfortable. And sometimes I guess you need something like that to challenge you. Like, do you want it? No. I mean, I would have loved to finish that fight that way. I would have loved to have a spinning elbow or a head kick knockout or something. But at the same time, too, it's like I'm more inspired by that because I'm like, hey, that was a great kick, and I was part of that moment on the other side of it. But the day I do get to have an awesome knockout, the day I do get to have a great submission, the day I do have the belt around my waist, like, I get to remember what that guy felt like on the other side of it too. So I don't need to like boast in my own glory. I need to thank God and say, hey man, like, though you're on the other side of it today, I know you have better days coming, because there are kids that need to see that, right? They don't need to act crazy. I don't need to act out of character, because that's not me. But also too, man, like, I don't want to disrespect my parents, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, like the people I love, because that's not cool, right? This is not something that, when I look back on my career, I don't want my kids seeing that. So for me, it's like, how do you carry yourself now? And then I think it tells a better story, because the way you carry yourself is gonna, they say what's etched in stone is not what lasts in history. It's how you carry yourself and the marks you leave on people. And I want to leave a mark on people, like, no matter how things go, I carry myself with honor and dignity. And that's it. So when people wrote back and were very, with a lot of love, it meant a lot, because it shows me that we're on the right path and we're doing the right thing. And we're not here to seek comfort. So, hey, we keep moving forward.
Yeah, I will say that, man. Like, one reason why I reached out to you when I did is because the way that you carry yourself all the way through. And not just that, but I will say this, me being a black man, you being another black man, it's just so positive, man, the way that you keep that alive for the culture and stuff, man. And there's not a lot out there, that move like you and that think like you. And I just want to give you a special shout out. And that's definitely has a lot to do with your upbringing, to your parents and everything like that. Can you tell us a little bit about your nickname and what that means to you?
For sure, man. Respect to you, man. God bless you. Sheesh, man. So my fight name, man, it came before my first amateur fight. I was like thinking about it, man. Like, when I prayed about fighting, and I was like, God, if this is what you call me to do, like, let's make it work out. I know everybody's gonna have more experience than me. I don't know what, but I'm gonna rely on you. And I wanted a name that represented my faith and my culture. Thank you, Cameron. So I went downstairs. I'm thinking about it, and I went down and talked to my mom and my dad. It was actually funny. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're up cooking collard greens. I think we had like family coming over around that time of the year. And it was just so weird. I'm like, what are y'all doing? They're dancing in the kitchen. I say, Dad, I need a fight name. I don't know what to pick. I don't know what to use. You got any advice? And he goes, okay. Let me think about it. I'm like, let's represent like our culture, like Congolese, Congolese American. Let's represent. Put that out there. And he's like, okay, think about these names. Different names he's running through his head. He says Chilobo. And I said, what's Chilobo mean? And he's like, it's mighty warrior in the God, like under Jesus, under God. Like, when anybody from our tribe and our culture, like the Bantu tribe and being, you know, the Maluba tribes, anybody back in Congo would know, when you say Chilobo, it's a very powerful, powerful name. Like, you're almost saying, like, man, like, God is with that guy. God is with that person. And that's the kind of warrior I want to be, a warrior that represents God. Mighty, fearless, will step in your face and fight you, but also shows love, because that's how it's supposed to be, man. And I wanted that, and it was really cool that my dad gave it to me, because my culture, any name that you get, Carvalho, Chilobo, Kasanganay, like every name we have, you can't give it to the child without it having a meaning. And that's kind of cool to me. So my dad gave that to them. It really, really meant a lot to me. Thank you, guys. Man, everybody here in the comments are really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot of people out there as fans to you, man. So, like, when we told them we were getting you on, you know, and this is all genuine love right here, man. So, I mean, speaking of that right there, I just want to ask, like, do you remember the very first MMA fight you ever saw? Or, you know, the very first MMA event you seen and you're like, oh, wow, I need in. Who was it? And who was around you?
So, funny thing was, when I was a kid, I lived in South Florida, where I'm from. I was actually born in Fort Lauderdale, grew up in West Palm Beach. And my parents would never actually let me watch. So I was allowed to play sports growing up or watch fights because my parents thought I was too violent. So what I would do is I put the Discovery Channel on one channel and I put the fights on the other. So it's like WEC. And I used to always like to watch this guy, the California Kid, and I didn't realize his name was, I didn't know it was Uriah Faber, who I actually met on my second Contender Series fight. And I would watch the fights, I turned the volume all the way down, and I was like, man, this guy's crazy. You guys just like, I was watching all these fights, like Benson Henderson. I didn't even know who these people were at the time. And I was like, remember seeing all these crazy fights, and I was like, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to do that one day. And when I was little, I asked my mom, can I fight? And she said, no, not till you get paid for it on your own. That's why I had to wait till college pretty much. But it was like something I always ended up watching. Like, even when I got to high school, I was still not allowed to watch it in the house because I have a little brother, a little sister. And my parents were like, we don't want them seeing that stuff. So any chance I could get, whether I go out with my friends, and I'd watch the fights until curfew. Or I'd just watch them on YouTube. But I remember when I was young, I was probably 10, 11 years old, I was watching those guys like Uriah Faber, and they were just out there doing crazy things, man. It's like, I got to get in that. I don't care what I need to do, but I got to get in that one day. And it wasn't like some like lifelong drawn out plan, because I actually played a lot of music. Life changed, man. God just put me on the path, and he reintroduced it to my life in college, and now I'm here. I'm here in the UFC and ready to keep doing what I love, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Lenny. Quick question before I get to you on that, Lenny. Impa, can you tell us a little bit about what does Bryan Barberena mean to you, and what did he do for you in the MMA?
Yeah, so Bryan Barberena, man, the whole Barberena family, really, some of the best people I know. Speaking of Bryan, just keep him in your prayers. He had a crazy situation where his, I'm not probably using the right proper medical terms, but just some lining in his stomach got messed up. So he had to go to the hospital last minute. And I'll tell you one thing, though. This is Bryan. Coach Jim calls and tells me what happened. I'm here in Florida training. And he says, Bryan tells the people for the ambulance, before he even gets to the ambulance, don't put an IV in me. I got a fight coming next week. It just makes me laugh, because I'm like, if you know
he's
Bryan,
that type of guy.
Because he can't see. He's losing his vision. And he's on the phone with his wife, Diana, his trooper. And he goes, Diana, he's like, get in the ambulance. He's like, no, get in the ambulance. I'm not getting an ambulance. And they're arguing in front of paramedics. But this dude cannot see. He can't even function. His body's like shutting down on him. But he's like, no, I got to fight. And that's where his brain is. He's one of the toughest people you'll ever meet. If not, that's like, in a world full of tough fighters, like, and fighters are tough, like in the toughest sports made, like the toughest, not even a sport, the toughest lifestyle. Like, as far as like what you choose to do. You know, like, shout out to soldiers, happy Veterans Day. But I mean, like, a profession you just choose to do, like fighting, man, is different. This is the toughest guy out there, man. If you know Bryan, he doesn't care. He does not. He will fight to literally just till everything in him is shutting down. And to see that kind of guy, man, he's a huge inspiration for me. A warrior. He loves his family. That's all he cares about. And pizza. When I first started my career, he was my manager. He was my agent, and he helped me get into UFC, man. He got me into the first Contender Series show and showed me a lot of love, and it's always been on me. Bryan thinks he's my dad. So I say, like, my dad lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, it's not you. But he definitely is a huge just role model in my life, man. Like, he's the kind of fighter, like, if I ever feel like, oh, I'm in training, oh, I feel this, I'm like, no. If Bryan wouldn't do this, if Scott Holtzman wouldn't do this, like, I'm not pulling back. And those, especially too, Scott Holtzman too, man. I'd be missed if I didn't ever shout out him. You know, he would just. There's some great guys, man. The way they come to work, when they're there to work, they're there to work, and they don't there's nothing stopping them. And just that story I told you in the beginning, man. Like Brian is always coming to fight. You saw the fights, even if the fights that he lost, like he's fighting till the end, and that's the kind of fight I think everybody should take notes from, if anything. So just a great man. It's beautiful kids. Tabby's a princess. Shale's the sweetest kid. Deegan's the man. Deegan juked me out in flag football, and I'm supposed to be a professional athlete. So I got a shout out to Deegan, and they're a beautiful family, man. So just a good people, man, and kind of helped me early in my career of like, okay, this is what part of this is what I want out of my life, you know. So good guy, man.
Yeah, Brian Barberino is an absolute warrior. He's never in a dull fight. That guy just seems to, get himself in trouble for some reason. Like his fight against Vincent Luque. Oh my God, what an absolute war that was! I would happily see them fight 10 times in a night. It was absolutely incredible. But I wish him the best. I hope he's okay, and hopefully, he gets back to full fitness, and we see him fight again, because the guy is incredible to watch. So we'll move on from this subject. So. You said on Twitter, we'll talk about hopefully your next fight. You said that you recover in December, hopefully get back in January, February. And I was scrolling through your Twitter feed, and someone said that you versus Roman Kopylov would be a good fight, and you said you accept and you would like that. How would a fight between him and you? Would you like that fight?
Yeah, man, I accept the fight. And Roman takes it, I take it too, man. It's like I don't never turn down a fight. That's my number one rule. Like if you're a fighter, there's no reason for you to turn down a fight. Like RDA said it this week. He said. He became a champion by taking whoever they put in front of him. Robert Whittaker did the same thing. Alhassan did the same thing. These guys who are awesome champions, they become champions, and whether they lost the title or not, when they became champion, they fought whoever was ever in front of them to get there. And I feel like if a guy puts somebody on my path, he says, I thank you, God, for putting the enemies, like there are enemies on my path. That means whatever path you're on in life, you will have enemies, whether it could be depression, it could be financial struggles, it could be doubts in your own mind, but whatever thing you have in life, that's part of your path. So whatever enemy you have, they need to be there. And if Roman Kopolov's name comes on a contract, he's there. Respect to him. He's a good fighter. I like the way he fights, and I'm pretty sure he'd be like. I'm not too sure where he's from, but I believe he's Eastern European. And then those guys, they come to fight, and that's the kind of guys I like. Guys who come to fight, and hey, we can probably meet on Fight Island again in January, February, and get after it. So I hope so, man. I'm looking forward to that, and whatever fight they offer me, man, I already accept it. I don't care where it is, when it is. If it's the week after I'm cleared, which is December 9th, or if it's I'm actually medically cleared already. Got my test. I'm good to go. So thank God. But
there we go.
Man, just let me fight. I want to fight 6-7 times next year. So ready to get after it. Maybe even 8, 9. So ready to get after it, man.
Man, speaking of fighting 6 or 7 times, man, I mean, Kevin Holland's definitely making a name right now doing that, So how would you feel about facing one of his opponents, Darren Stewart? How do you think you match up against Darren Stewart?
Man, I love to fight Darren. I like the way he fights, bro. He's a game opponent. He has slick everything. I like the way he fights. He fought Duran Wynn. He fought him well. He came at him well. But did he fight Maki too? You think he fought Maki? Yeah, he fought Maki. But then he fought Kevin Holland, but man, he brought it to him too. And Kevin Holland's a really good prospect, man. I can see Kevin Holland building up, and I would love to fight Kevin. So all these guys, man. But like Darren Stewart, man, I'd love to fight him. Maybe he's ready for Fight Island in January, February. But I feel like that's gonna be a solid scrap, man. Like two guys who really don't want to let the middle go, and they're gonna just go and go and go. So for me, it's like I believe I can finish that fight, redline him, and just get after him. But man, it's gonna be one of those fights where you better be on it, right? Because he's slick, man. He's got some game to him, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, 100%. You said you wanted to come back between January or February, and there's a card January 23rd. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. I know you would love to be on that card, 100%.
Oh, come on, yeah, for sure. Heck yeah. Is that on Fight Island too?
They're targeting to get it on Fight Island, so that would be an even bonus for you.
Man, I would love to do that. I'd love to. Let me get on that card for sure. Anybody who wants to fight, just sign me up. I'll stay on Fight Island for like 10 weeks. I don't care. I'll be back at the hotel. I'll re-quarantine and go again. But I love to fight on that card. I mean, January 23rd would be great. I'll be 27. My birthday's January 17th, so it'll be a solid birthday present, So claim a victory and then enjoy it, man.
Yeah, so if you was to get on the card, Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor, do you feel like the big event, the huge eyes all on you? This is a great way to catapult your career even more than you have already. Do you feel like you could maybe get overwhelmed with the amount of eyes that will be on the event?
No, I don't ever get overwhelmed, man. Like, fighting is what I'm supposed to do. Being in the octagon is what I'm supposed to be. Like, I just love it. It's peaceful for me. It's even being on Fight Island, even though it's like people, oh my gosh, it's Fight Island, it's this. I remember even before I was even in the UFC. Before I even had my second contender series offer, and I was, it was during quarantine, I watched the first Fight Island fights, and I was like, man, Dad, how cool would it be to be on Fight Island? When I got out there, it was like I was in my backyard. I felt like I was home. I was like, okay, this is where I need to be. Super calm, super relaxed. Sometimes I have to tell myself, like, before, all right, time to get going. You got to fight. Like, can't be this calm. And it was the same way. And I was like, let's just go. Let's get going, man. So to be on that event with those guys, like, especially, too, when you know who you are, and you know where you see yourself going, like, at least you have like that vision in your heart, that like where God's calling you, that's going to be you one day, having the main event. They're talking about you. So if anything, I'm just taking notes and what's up, Alex? Taking notes and seeing it like, man, how will I carry myself when that time comes? Like, what suit will I wear? How am I going to fight? What? You hear me?
Yeah, I just blacked out, I think.
Sorry. One second. Uh-oh. I don't know how to get back on camera. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. Yeah, man. Special shout out to everybody in the chat right there, man. Keep them comments coming for Impa right here, man. If you guys rocking with Impa, man, go ahead, put them thumbs up. Put everything in the comments, man. Let them know out there, man. Pub Sports Radio, seconds out. That's how it goes sometimes. We get technical difficulties in life, but it's just all about how you bounce back from it, So we can hear everything. We just can't see some stuff, so we'll just give them a little bit of time to fix that. That's how that Miami guy is.
Yes, there we go.
There we go.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's how it is out there in Miami,
I don't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear us, Impa? Lenny, say something. Impa, can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear us?
Oh no, I can't hear you guys.
Oh no.
Okay, let me see. Hold on. Now can you hear us now, Impa?
Hello?
Can you hear us now, Impa? Oh man, looks like some little technical.
Sorry, guys.
Can you remove the stream and come back in? Can you remove the stream and come back in? Can you still hear us? No?
I can't hear you guys. Should I leave and try to come back on?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes we get these technical difficulties, when you got people out there in that Miami weather right there, though, man. But that's Impa right there. We're going to finish up this interview with him, ask him a few questions, about the up-and-coming card, see who he likes on this week's card. And, after that, we'll get into the regular broadcast as we do as usual. Let's see here. Let's see if he's good now. Can you hear us now, Impa?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Live and live in color, man.
Perfect. Good.
Okay. Quick question. Okay. Yeah, Impa. Would you ever do a shoey with our fellow Floridian Boston Nick?
Oh, well, see, hey, I don't drink, but I do a shoey with, like, something else.
There we go. You heard it here first. Impa's going to do a shoey with something else, some green tea, some Mountain Dew.
Hot tea, freaking gravy. I don't care.
You heard it here first, man. So, I mean, we were talking about some main events. Real quick, the up-and-coming fights this week. Paul Felder stepping in on short day notice to take on Dos Anjos. How do you feel about the main event?
I like it, man. It shows how Paul Felder is. That's what fighters do. When you get called to fight and there's opportunity, go do it. Go save the show and then put yourself at opportunity. Like, imagine, if Paul Felder gets this fight, he puts himself in title contention, right? Like, he puts himself at a point where it's like, you fought a legend, you fought guys probably a future Hall of Famer, and then now you still have it in you to fight. That's all he needed. Maybe he needed that time off, and now he's like, let's go. If anything, he builds his stock, and he puts himself in a better financial position. and he gets to do what he loves. He gets to fight, and I think that's the cool part. RDA, awesome fighter. We're excited to see what he's gonna do, and excited to see what he does when his opponent changes up too. So I love it, man. I love it.
What is ridiculous as well is that he was actually meant to be commentating on the fights, and now he's stepping into fight. That's absolutely crazy. Honestly, the balls on this guy is absolutely incredible. And he's always in a fight, and against his last fight against Dan Hooker, man, what a war that was. And a lot of people thought he won the fight. And hopefully, brings on a good fight this weekend. But an also interesting fact, he's not been really training for an MMA fight. He's been training for a marathon. Do you reckon that'll maybe do you reckon that'll be an advantage? He's good to go to 5 rounds, but can that also be a disadvantage because his tools might not be as sharp? He might not have sparred during up for the fight. Do you feel like that could affect him in the fight?
Possibly, just because maybe he's not used to the timing or hit and miss, because training for a marathon and running is completely different than a fight. Obviously there's some overlapping training characteristics or whatever and what he's doing in his training, but I don't know. I want to see, because he's been fighting for so long. Maybe it just clicks back for him. And fighting is weird. Sometimes you won't do anything for a fight, and then you're ready to fight. And sometimes you do everything you can, and it doesn't work out. So I think he's been fighting for so long. He's game, and he has the intelligence, and he's been around fights. Man, I think he'd be just fine.
Speaking of some of the fights on there, because I know you're not just a fighter, you actually watch the fights, you enjoy them. So what do you think about the fight taking place in your division between Eryk Anders and Antonio Arroyo? How do you think that's going to play out, and are you a fan of either of them?
So fun fact about Eryk Anders, man, when I first started fighting, 2 fighters I reached out to, Vicente Luque and Eryk Anders, asking for advice, how to get into MMA. And Eryk was really, really helpful, man. He just kind of gave me some advice. Spoke to him through social media, Instagram. He's a cool guy, man. So I'm a fan of him. Comes to fight, comes to bang, and I'm ready to see what he does. Arroyo, I heard the name, but I don't know too much about him yet. I'm for sure he's a good fighter. He's in the UFC, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do. But I think Eryk gets it, man. I got to cheer for him biasly, but hey, excited to see that fight.
Yeah, you two are quite similar. You both former, if I'm correct, you're both former football players.
Yeah. So that's kind of the reason I reached out to him too. And I had to reach out to him and ask him hey, what was your transition like? What was your training like? And he's like, man, completely different kind of cardio, just different challenge, but you'll like it too because you love to hit. So it's pretty cool.
Talking about that, could you kind of help us to let everyone know what was it like to adjust to the MMA over football? So
the biggest I've ever been was 245. Still looked about the same, but I was 245 pounds when I played football. Really started walking around my senior year, I was about 228, 230. But before my first amateur fight, I had to cut down from 236 to 184, and that was in a few days. That's probably about 6-7-ish days. And then, when I first got to the gym in North Carolina, Jimbo, I was big. I didn't know. I was lifting, and I thought I was supposed to lift. I don't lift anymore, and it's I was just trying to learn how do you train for MMA? What kind of conditioning do you need? And also the mobility, the mental aspect of it. You can't be strong and hit people. You gotta be able to put the shots in the right place, grapple correctly. So it was a whole new learning process, but it was kind of similar to me because I started playing football my senior year of high school. So his first few years it was mostly learning. I just did that same approach, act like you don't know anything. Don't just street fight people with intelligence, with poise, and comport yourself like a professional. That's been awesome for me, man.
Real quick, Impa. So from one of the Pub Sports loyal fans out there, Neil the Security, he wants to know, how does Impa celebrate a victory, and what's his favorite post-fight meal?
So it's kind of fun. I'm gonna sound boring. So my nutrition counsel, Seki Delfino, who's awesome, he usually tries me on fights. He cornered me for the Maki fight. He made me promise, and it's also a good idea to help your body and your brain recover properly, with your neural pathways. You eat healthy food because it helps that your brain recover better. Even if you don't take a lot of damage in a fight, you still have taken somewhat damage, right? Because your body's going through the fight, weight cut, and everything. So I really like pizza. So I'm only get one slice of pizza after fights. I'll get one really good pepperoni pizza and popcorn or something, and maybe a glass of lemonade. But that's it. Everything else is healthy. So those 3 things together, and then I'm already back to my healthy eating because I want to be able to fight the next week. I want to be able to go right back to it.
Yes, sir. Lenny, can you read that question right here? This is the owner of Pub Sports Radio, Jeff Slaughter, right there. He has a personal question he wants to know. Lenny, read it out for him.
He's asking, what's the weirdest tradition that your family has?
Weirdest tradition. My family's not super traditional. They have any traditions, but my brother, sister, and I, since they were little, like when they were little, we used to try to catch Santa Claus. So we sleep in the living room, right? And we still do it. I'm 26, brother's 26, 14, but we still sleep in the living room every Christmas Eve and enjoy that. And we sleep on the floor like we did at we were in an apartment that we just enjoy it and watch Christmas movies and eat food and still wait for Santa or whatever that means, right? But
yeah,
kids out there, Santa Israel, right? You know,
mm-hmm.
you don't want to get anybody in trouble. But that's what we do, man. It's like a funny thing. And I always laugh because the older I get, I'm like, I still want to do it every year. It's like what I look forward to. Like this Christmas, I'm like, man, hey, I don't care how old y'all get. We're still looking for Santa.
Keeping that tradition.
For Santa, right? And,
yeah.
Hey, shout out to Nick. Hey, there we go. I like that.
And then one other question about the fight. We have another fight. I mean, this was supposed to take place at 185, but it's a catchweight fight. Now it's Brandon Allen versus Sean Strickland. Brandon Allen was supposed to be fighting Ian Heinisch. He got the COVID last week. Seems like it's the second time he got it. In comes Sean Strickland on a short day notice. Both of them is at a pick'em price. Even money on each fighter right here. How do you see this fight playing out?
Man, hey, Brandon Allen, get some training with him now, right? He's here at Sanford. Met him the other day, super nice guy. He's a really good fighter too, man. Just like awesome grappler, becomes a fight, man. Finds a way to win. So I'm cheering for him, cheering for Brendan, man. Ready to go see him get that victory and represent properly and do what he does. And so cool, some guys will say no, they're planning for another guy, they don't want to fight this guy, and everybody understand. But he's a fighter. He came to fight. He came to do what he loves to do, and I'm praying for him, man. I know he's gonna do his job.
Nice. All right, okay. Lenny, go ahead. I know you have one more question for him before we wrap up this interview, because I know, Impa, man, you're a busy man out there in Miami, man. So,
hey, thank you guys.
So someone said in the chat, Big Show Picks, it got lost in the chat. He said, what position did you used to play in football?
Funny, I played all over, but mostly linebacker. Hitting people, man. You can see the way you can say I rode the bench, but mostly linebacker. Played a little bit of fullback when I was at Western Carolina my freshman year, and a little bit of defensive end, but mostly on the defensive side of the ball, linebacker, D end, and just wanted to run around and hit people. So.
Yes, sir. And then I got to get this one from my boy Jacksonville Zoe right here. This is a good one right here. He wants to know, what was the biggest difference after getting the contract in the Contender Series and then getting in the UFC?
Man, in the Contender Series, you want to make a dream happen, and then you're like, especially the first time in the Contender Series, I thought I had it. I was like, oh man, we fought Kalen Hill, top prospect, didn't get it. That was like the first time it really hurt to get a victory. It hurt to win. I was like, dang, like I swear we got the contract. We beat the guys, the top prospect, all this stuff. So on the second Contender Series, I really wanted to finish. You're hoping you get the fight, hoping you get the victory, and then you start watching the other guys get finished. You're like, man, will I get a contract tonight? And you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And we're like, we don't know, man. Like, we'll see. Like, still having faith they're gonna get it. And then Dan is like, does the same speech he does the year before. I got some questions, I got some stuff. But then when he finally said I had the fight and I had the contract, man, that was one of the coolest experiences of my life. It stuck with me forever. And then getting in the UFC, it's like, it's work, it's your job, but it's the best feeling in the world, man. That first UFC fight right back in Vegas, back in my home, my second home, third home, whatever you want to call it. So happy to be there. And it's like, now I know, like you're in the major leagues. You get to fight guys like Adesanya one day, Robert Whitaker one day, some of the top prospects in the world, and you get to do something special with your life, especially with your career. And that's like, for me, it's like one day you hope to be there with the big dogs, and you hope to be there in the big leagues. Now you're here, and you're like, there's nothing stopping you, nothing stopping me from getting there but myself. So it's like, what adjustments I have to make? What do I need to do in my life? And I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, sir, man. One thing I want to do before you get out of here, man. I mean, just if you can, we're big fans over here at Seconds Out. So if you could just give us a little bit of plug on it, a little bit, just let them know, hey, this is Seconds Out, Impa Kasanganay, rocking on Pub Sports Radio, and we're the best out.
Hey, thanks for Seconds Out having me on. You said Public Sports Radio, is what you said?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Said Pub Sports Radio.
Pub Sports Radio.
Pub Sports Radio. Shout out to having me out. Man, God bless you. Y'all are the best. And I'm looking forward to talking to you again soon. Keep you updated on the next fight and everything after that, man. All you guys are a blessing to talk to and some friends, so let's stay connected forever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And not just that, man. I want you to give a message to the whole world out there, man. It's 2020 right now, man. It's not just about fighting, man. It's about spreading love in this whole world. So go ahead, man. This is your time right here to just speak, for 30 seconds or something. Just get your message out, man, because you're a man with the message, and I think these people need to hear it.
Thank you. Hey, man. Hey, whatever you're going through right now, making an adjustment in your life or you're in a transition, you just don't know what's next. Just know that, and I'm a man of faith, and it says Romans 8:20, everything works out together for your good. At first, you don't understand why you're going through it, when you're going through it, and that the time you're going through it just seems like the worst time ever. But what's going to happen through any of your challenges is going to direct you on the right path that God has for you. You're unconditionally loved. So if you don't love yourself enough, there's no somebody out there that does love you. Somebody who does love you wants you to see you succeed. The people that want to see you fail, they're just putting you in the right direction, man. My dad always told me rejection gives you a direction. And what's going to happen in your life in this next chapter after this 2020 is over, don't see 2020 as bad. Just see it as a setup, man. And what he's going to do through your life, where you're going to be next year, this time, you're going to look back on this year and say, man, I lost my job. For me, it's to say, hey, I lost a fight in front of the whole world. But a year from now, this time, title contender. A year from now, that's like, what's going to happen for you and make it happen, all right? So keep your head up.
Yes, man. There we go right there, man. Pub Sports Radio. Everybody, yeah, man. He wants to see you, man. He was bobbing in the background, man.
Hey.
But yeah, man, definitely though, man. Thanks for coming on again. Like I said, man, we're gonna stay in touch. We're gonna stay in tune. Big fan of you, man. A loss ain't nothing to a winner, you know.
Thank you so much, man. Y'all are the best. God bless you guys.
All right, man. So that was Impa Kasanganay right there with Seconds Out, the best MMA show on Pub Sports Radio. Forget about the others out. All right, man. God bless.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. God bless.
All right. Yeah, man. That was Impa right there, man. I mean, interview lasted a little bit longer than we expected and stuff, but that's how it goes sometimes, man. Yeah, so now we're just gonna roll right into the show right there. I mean, definitely was a longer interview than we intended on, but you got your crew right here. The boys is back. MMA Locker Room, MMA Unhinged, MMA Prediction Guru. How you guys doing out there now, man?
Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, I was listening to you guys just now. It was a pretty good interview, so yeah, ready to get the card broken down here.
Let's go. Before we do that, man, let's just talk a little bit about last week. Some of the fights that was impressing to us. Some of the biggest winners, some of the biggest losers on there. Let's just start with the main event. The man Glover Teixeira. I mean, he had that Tyson Fury in his blood, right?
Yeah, honestly, the guy doesn't quit, man. The amount of times we've seen Glover just been knocked down and just come out and just submit him. We've seen it against Carl Robertson. I mean, he got knocked down in that fight. Carl Robertson knocked him down. Then Glover Teixeira came back and submitted him. And in this fight, I really thought the Santos power might be too much for Glover. But, we saw Glover, he's a veteran, man. That guy just comes back. You can hit him with an absolute sledgehammer. Santos has called the sledgehammer. I think even if you hit Glover with a sledgehammer, that still ain't putting him out. The guy just keeps on coming, and his grappling is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was a great fight. I mean, it was probably one of my favorite fights of the year because, there was a lot of moments where you thought the fight could be over one way or the other. So it was fun to watch. And overall, though, I feel like Glover kind of dominated the fight. There was a couple of moments where, Thiago did all right with, he had 2 knockdowns, but besides that, it was probably, I think Glover had probably over almost 10 minutes of top control. So yeah, what do you guys think? You guys think he should get the title shot next?
100%.
Yeah. Think about it. Hell yeah. Yeah, he's been on a tear right there, man. He's been on a tear, and if he don't deserve it, who does?
Well, they're saying Izzy, right? But I think, he should get it before Izzy, though. But
100%. I feel like Izzy's got, if he's going to get the title shot, the only guy in the light heavyweight division at the moment who deserves it is Glover. He was on a 5-fight win streak since losing to Corey Anderson. He's on an absolute tear at the minute, beating Anthony Smith, beating Thiago Santos, and he's absolutely on a tear. He's the only guy that I see should actually challenge for the light heavyweight title. I don't think Izzy deserves it. Even though he's doing great things at middleweight, I think he just got to get, keep on going at middleweight, then eventually go up.
Yeah, and then, man, what you guys think about the co-main event, man? Andre Arlovski right there, comes back in a close fight. I can't really say it's a robbery in my eyes. I had money on Bozer. He killed all my parlays, but I'm going to just be quite honest, man. Those leg kicks, they weren't even powerful leg kicks, and he wasn't striking at all. So what do you guys think about the co-main event?
Yeah, I mean, not much to say, really. I mean, it wasn't like a barn burner of a fight, but Andre seems to kind of, put on those type of fights, in the second half of his career. So these close, slow paced fights, and it seemed like like you said, Bozer was kind of hesitant to engage with the hands or in the pocket. You could tell that Andre probably had a big power advantage, which was kind of surprising, and Bozer didn't like getting hit, man. So he just stayed on the outside and threw those leg kicks. And I mean, some people were complaining, like you said, saying it was a robbery or whatever, but it's I don't know. Would you rather get hit by 3 of those leg kicks or one, big overhand right or right hand from Andre? Because that's what it was. I mean, I would probably rather get hit by the 3 leg kicks because he's probably gonna, I don't know. But I mean, it is what it is. It was Andre, to me, he did enough to get the win. I mean, you can't complain about it. It was a unanimous decision. So, but yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was a great fight or anything.
What about you, Lenny?
Oh, 100%. You put it on perfectly. That it was. I feel like he wasn't aggressive enough. He didn't really throw for too much intention. Tanner Bozer looked like he was kind of maybe phased with the occasion of fighting Andre Arlovski, a guy who's a UFC former UFC heavyweight champion, and the guy's a veteran. I think he's on his next fight will be his 50th, I believe. If I'm correct,
you might be right.
That's a lot of fights in the UFC, man. Yeah, Andre Arlovski, he gets paid one of the highest salaries in the UFC too whenever he fights in there as well, man. Shout out to him for still being able to get those wins in 2020 right here, man. Well, what about this? What about my girl, man? Jan coming through with the win over my wifey, Claudia, man. How you guys like that?
Yeah, I mean, Jan looked good in the fight. I thought, Claudia, I don't know. It was the same thing as usual, where the first round she came out, she looked good, and then just didn't have the cardio to keep going. But to me, it was it was poor fight IQ as well, because she kept going for that body lock trip, the reap off the cage, and there was Jan's legs were so close together, she could have easily dropped down and went for freestyle wrestling singles doubles and gotten takedowns most likely, but I don't know. I mean, maybe she was just more comfortable doing that. But yeah, after the first round, I mean, Jan was just better on the feet. She pieced her up, moved around, and Claudia kind of looked a little bit slow. So yeah, it was a good win, but I still don't think she's I don't really see her as a threat for the belt, to be honest with you. I don't think she can I don't even think she would beat I don't know if she could even beat Nina Ansaroff or I don't know.
Oh, come on. No, you didn't go with the Nina on me.
Or I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man.
All right, Lenny, how'd you see that fight? I actually thought it was going to be a more entertaining fight ever since it got announced. It wasn't an entertaining fight at all, but I cashed in on it.
Yeah, 100%. Prediction Guru put it on perfectly. It was not really an interesting fight. The body lock. She kept on going for it. The IQ wasn't there in the fight. But Yan, she improves. She goes to number 3 in the rankings. And Weili Zhang, she's number 1. She's the champion. China versus China in Beijing. I still would watch.
No, it's gonna be set up to that, but Jan still needs some she still needs some toolage. She still needs another fight or two. Ain't nobody messing with Wang. Point blank, you know what I mean? Hot chicken Wang Zhang. Ain't nobody messing with her, man. But yeah, all right. So that was a few fights on the main card. What was the most exciting fight on the card for you? Is it Max Griffin busting up Brahma's earlobe? Was it that boring ass Trevin Giles fight? Was it the Gustavo Lopez knockout or submission in round 1? What was the most exciting fight that you think on the card? Because to me, that card wasn't that exciting.
If I'm thinking one off the top of my head, it's got to be Rani Barcelos versus Khalid Taha. That was an absolute war between them two, and the durability from Taha he showed in that fight was incredible. And both of their stocks went up in that fight, an absolute brilliant fight, and he definitely deserves a ranked opponent next. I think he's on a 9-fight winning streak at the moment, 5-0 inside the UFC. Looked incredible on the feet, looks really good on the ground. He's definitely a threat for the future contenders in the bantamweight division. The bantamweight division at the moment is absolutely stacked, man. It's the list of names that I can list in this division is absolutely incredible. And just thinking about the potential matchups that you could have in this division, and the Barcelos put his name straight out there with an incredible performance against Taha, and I can't wait to see him fight hopefully against a ranked opponent next.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it wasn't a great card, but I thought that the Elkins fight, that one wasn't too bad. The main event wasn't that bad. And then the fight that he said probably was the best fight with Raoni Barcelos against Taha. I mean, Taha didn't really, have he wasn't competing. It was Barcelos kind of dominating the fight, but he was still in it a little bit. He was still throwing back, and it was more like his really good durability. But yeah, Barcelos put on a show. He looked good. So yeah, I feel like Barcelos could, easily get a top 5 opponent and do well potentially. So yeah, hopefully he can get a step up in competition.
Yeah, that was UFC right there. What about that Bellator card that just ended, man? You had Corey Anderson versus Melvin Manhoff. Corey Anderson went all the way up to a -600 favorite on that fight card right there. Then you also had Derek Anderson fighting on that card right there. He won on a illegal. It wasn't illegal. It was deemed legal, but yeah, man, he kicked the guy when he still had a one hand down on the mat. My boy Curtis was happy for that still. But what do you guys think about that Bellator event?
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. I really, to be honest with you, I'm trying to remember some of the fights out there, man, because I remember the couple fights you said. I remember that Tyrell Fortune. That fight was really bad. I remember that fight was a terrible fight.
And they gave him the win, right?
Yeah. The Julius Anglicus, he looked good on the card, but yeah, that card wasn't a great card in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't too exciting. Unfortunately, I had the pleasure to cover that one. I had to interview them after the shows, and I got to speak to Corey Anderson, and he was impressed with his debut. But a lot of people said that they weren't impressed. It was a 44-year-old Melvin Manhoef. A lot of people put that against him, Melvin. He said that Melvin Manhoef wasn't the best fighter that he fought. Obviously, he's 44. If it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, he definitely could have put up a competitive fight. Unfortunately, he was 44 on that day, and not too impressive. Hopefully we get to see him against someone who just more caliber, more who's aged a little bit. Someone who's in the top 2, top 3 of the Bellator light heavyweight division. Time out.
You was interviewing Corey Overtime Anderson. Wait, and you didn't tell him seconds out, MMA the best show out. You told him, right?
I got to be professional.
Got it, man. You were supposed to just say yeah on the low. You're supposed to just slide that in. Wink, wink. But yeah, all right. So speaking of that right there's a lot of people that didn't think that fight was that impressive. One, the boss man, Scott Coker. Guess who he said is next in line for that belt? Mr. Wonderful, pink trousers himself, Phil Davis.
I think he's coming off a decision win over Lyoto Machida, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that was his last fight.
Yeah, he's on a 3-fight winning streak. I can't remember the other 2 names, but yeah, he's looking good as of late. But I see Vadim Nemkov just what he done to Ryan Bader. I feel like he's going to control that division for endless time for to come. He's an absolute killer on the feet. We saw it. He knocked out Ryan Bader in round number 2. In round number 1, though, it was quite a competitive fight. But round number 2, he came out sharp, knocked him out. But yeah, I feel like he's going to rule the division for a few fights.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting fight, though, because the first time when Nemkov and Phil Davis fought, a lot of people thought that was a robbery. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I still think Nemkov probably will win. It seems like he got a lot better with the wrestling defense. But, I mean, I feel like Bader, I don't know. I don't think he's even though he beat Phil Davis, I don't think he's as, athletic. You know what I mean? The way that Phil Davis is. So it's a different type of matchup. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's all those guys are boring to me, man. Like Phil Davis, Corey Anderson.
Yes.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. So it's yeah. Mm-hmm. Nemkov is fun to watch.
Yeah, nah, you hit that on point, man. They're all kind of in that same caliber. You know what I mean? When it's like, it's all kind of the same fighters and stuff. So, I mean, since we're on Bellator right now, I mean, I'll just go ahead and bring it up. I mean, we got a few fights that's been announced, that's been updated now. One fight that I think is going to be an exciting fight. It just got added on to the card for Bellator 253. I believe it's, let me see here. It's the one and only Rufus. No. Oh yeah, he has one too. But this one, Benson Henderson versus Jackson. How do you guys think that's going to play out since that just got added on to the card?
Man, I don't know. I can't remember how Jason Jackson fights, to be honest with you, dude. So I have to go back and watch him. I remember he fought Ed Ruth, but I can't remember how he fights at all, to be honest with you. So I couldn't even make a pick, man.
Got it. Yeah, no, just giving you guys some updates on the fights that's coming out. I mean, I was happy to see Benson Henderson and get a call right back in there after that, coming off that Leicester Chandler and shit like that. So that's going to be headlined by AJ McKee versus Darren Carwell, man. That's going to be a banger right there as well.
Yeah, that's a good fight. AJ versus Darion. That's a good fight. But I don't even know who I think is going to win that either. That's I have to look into that. I know AJ hasn't lost, right?
Yeah, 16. Yeah, and all 16 wins came inside the Bellator cage. That's incredible.
Yeah. Damn.
And then
I didn't realize so he had the first fight in Bellator. Shit.
He what?
His first fight was in Bellator?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All 16 came inside Bellator and professional anyway.
Yeah, he's fighting out the backyard of the city, Long Beach. So, it's all AJ McKee over here for me on that one, man. Then you got what about this one, man? You got Rufus Stouts. He's fighting Kevin Lee's little brother. Anybody familiar with Rufus Stouts?
I hear. I know his name. I recognize it, but I don't know too much about these guys, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me either, man. This card's for next week, though, dude.
Yeah, that's on the 19th. On the 19th, that one's gonna be a good one. That's actually the one that they sent us the press out, to try to get some press for it and stuff. They sent that to Pub Sports Radio. Well, I mean, those are just some of the fights on Bellator. What are some of the UFC fights that's up and coming that just got announced that you guys are looking into and that you're looking forward to? Jack Hermanson versus Kevin Holland.
Yeah, Holland getting a step up in competition and well deserved. He's been on a tear in 2020. I know his last fight, he wasn't too impressed with it, but this is a perfect way to, bounce back. He's getting a top 5 opponent in Jack Hermanson, who's an absolute killer in his own right. A guy has incredible BJJ, and we've seen Holland struggle in the past on the ground. He got submitted by Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is also a really good high-level BJJ, not a black belt. I don't know what belt he's in, but he's a high-level BJJ practitioner, and so is Jack Hermanson. And Jack Hermanson is incredible. He's really good with striking, underrated. But this is a really good fight. But I see a Jack Hermanson taking this fight straight to the ground and utilizing his BJJ.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I mean, it's huge step up for Holland, though, man. I mean, when you look at the guys that he's been fighting recently, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, Holland's good on the mic, but he hasn't really, he hasn't done good against higher level competition in the UFC,
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a way step up in competition right there. Just real quick, on that fight, Hermanson versus Holland, what would you predict the line's gonna be?
No, like Holland plus 190.
Okay, yeah. On that one, man, I gotta go with Hermanson on that one, man. Gotta go with that one. This is another fight right here. Takashi Soto versus Miguel Baeza. That one just got announced, man. That's gonna be a banger right there, man. Shit, that's gonna be a banger right there. I don't think that one's going the distance on that one at all.
Yeah, that'll be a good fight for sure.
Yeah, 100%. In his last fight, Takashi Sato, knocked out Jason Witt. And we've seen an impressive performance from Jason Witt the other weekend, utilized his wrestling. We saw what he can do on a full camp. But yeah, he knocked out Jason Witt in round number 1, 48 seconds in. And now he's fighting Miguel Baeza, 9-0 in his pro MMA career. beat knocked out Mac Brown in his last fight, but that was a good win for him, a veteran, but nothing too impressive. And Mac Brown's past his prime now. But yeah, I hope this is a good matchup between the UFC, and we could definitely see a banger. And as you said, definitely not going distance.
Yeah, and then you got your boy. I mean, he's back. Ponzinibbio is finally back. I don't know what he was doing with this layoff right here, but he's coming back to fight Kung Fu Panda Salikov. That's on January 16th. I mean, the only other person that's missing in action I ain't seen forever is Tyson Pedro, but at least we got Ponzinibbio back in action, right?
Yeah, he hasn't fought in a long time, so it's good to see him back. And versus Salikov, I mean, it'll be a good striking fight, so we'll see. I mean, Ponzinibbio, he hasn't fought in a long time, though.
Yeah, November 17th, 2018, to be exact. That's almost 2 years. We're coming up to November 17th, and it's almost going to be 2 years outside the cage for him, and he's lost his ranking. He lost his slot inside the rankings, and his last fight did come against Neil Magny, where he knocked him out. But Neil Magny's went on to do some incredible things as of late. He's picking up a 3-fight winning streak, I do believe. But yeah, I'm glad to see him back. He's definitely a guy that can trouble the division, and we just got to see him more active and injury free.
Yep. And then you got Pantoja versus Manuel Cape. He's making his debut from Ryzen. He was supposed to fight on, I believe, UFC 252, but something happened with that with the injury. Are any of you guys aware of Cape out there fighting from Ryzen?
Yeah, 100%. I interviewed him in the past, and I'm really high on this guy. He's a former Ryzen champion, knocked out Kai Asakara, who knocked out a guy who can't come to my head at the moment. He used to fight in Pride, I do believe. But yeah, he knocked out. Oh no, Kai Asakara knocked out Korahuchi. Yeah, and he knocked out Kai Asakara. This guy's. I got really hyped about this guy because he's a former Ryzen champion. Looks absolutely incredible. He's Portuguese, 125-pound division, just lights the division up. The 125-pound division at the moment. I remember a few months ago they wanted to get rid of it, and I feel like that it's getting really, really good at the moment. It's getting really deep, and I can't wait for him to see his debut.
What about you, Guru? You know anything about him, Cape?
A little bit. I mean, I haven't watched that many of his fights. I know he fought like Ian McCall, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
See, so yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know enough. There you go, man. I thought you were gonna hit me with the nah. I was gonna say, oh, cool. I get to enlighten you a little, but yeah, man. You know enough on him, man. What about this one right here? Karate Hottie is getting thrown to the sacrifice against Amanda Ribas.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good fight. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's like that much of a sacrifice, really. It's like an interesting fight. We'll see. Amanda really hasn't beat anybody.
True. I agree with that to a certain. Yeah, she hasn't beat anybody, but you actually think Waterson is going to be able to last the whole fight with Ribas? You think it's not going to be like a one-sided event?
Oh, like go to decision? Yeah. I mean, I don't think she'll finish her. I would be surprised.
Got it. All right. So, yeah, man, that's right there. That's just what's up and coming in the UFC news. Anything else out this week that we need to announce? It's official now. It's signed. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McNuggets. That one's official right there. So, I mean, that one's definitely going to take place. You got your boy Khabib making a statement saying, hey, he might come back for that 30-0, but against who? So, I mean, that's what's up right now in the MMA news. Anything else you guys heard out there?
I got one piece, which actually quite surprised me. I'm still baffled by this. I'm not too sure if you guys know, but have you heard of AJ Agazam?
Yeah, AJ, yeah.
That's the boy, Florida boy.
He's just signed for the UFC, apparently.
I thought
he went to Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, he went to Ultimate Fight, and it's the tryouts. Like he's not even on the show officially.
Yeah, I saw it on someone tweeted it on Instagram, Twitter. I mean, and I forgot her name is Amy something. Apparently, he said that he was heading to the UFC, and I thought that was crazy. The guy's 3-2. You know, his last fight lost against in Bellator. It's just it was ridiculous.
I don't think he'll make it on Tough. I mean, he's on the tryout, but I don't know. I don't know why they would bring him on the show.
Unless they bring him on the show. He has a little name, you know. He has that name. He's gonna do what he wants. You know, he's from the Diaz Army and stuff like that. I think that's actually like a good look, you know. But
he's terrible though. He's like a horrible fighter. Have you watched him fight?
Not that bad, bro. he
Did
got
you
good
watch the fight
jiu-jitsu.
where he was sticking his chin out like an idiot? Like, come on, man. Like,
I was there.
he went to split decision with the guy that's like 1-6. Like, that guy is not a good fighter, dude. He's a good jiu-jitsu guy, but
He got good jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? So,
that's it. Yeah, I mean, he got destroyed by Chris Lencioni, man. He was like not even like
did.
that good.
He did.
I don't
Nah,
know.
shout out. I got a picture with him, man. Florida boy, man. It's all good, man. Shit. But yeah, it's all good, man. Another person, they were trying to get on that show. He turned that down too. So yeah, the Ultimate Fighter though, that's a big announcement too. Can't wait for that to come back. Came up off that show when it got announced. So now, man, let's just get into it, man. We're gonna roll right into it. UFC Fight Night is taking place right now this week. Coming up, main event. Got to go on. The show goes on. You got Paul Felder stepping in versus Rafael dos Anjos for the main event. We're going to give you guys our little picks and predictions on the card coming up. But before we do that, Lenny, why don't you run through the chat and give some people some love?
Yeah, shout out to Robot Chicken Wings, with the comments in the section. We've got Boston Nick, one of our own, in the chat. Thanks for we've got Neil the Security, Just My 2 Cents, MMA Parlay King. Thank you all for joining. We got Jimmy the Drunk. We got Rix, Zed, Zably. Thank you all for joining and giving us support for Seconds Out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, in the meantime, though, before we get into this card, man, we also got a big event coming up this week. It's the Mecca on Mr. Arkansas's channel himself. What's the Mecca? The Mecca is 16 people put together to give their best predictions, best picks, best competition, and it's going down. So we're all going to be picking our fights to take place this week. You don't just got to win that. If you get voted into the bottom 3, you got to make sure you survive because you can get voted out. So all the people out there that need something to pay attention to, it's the Mecca. Follow Mr. Arkansas on YouTube. This is my first time doing a promo or even speaking about Mr. Arkansas. So shout out to Mr. Arkansas out there. For the people that don't know, he's like the MMA Howard Stern. Just like that. He's going to give it to you just like that. He's not going to be up there cookie cutting. None of that, man. If you guys want something to listen to get your attention, Arkansas is the man right there. Ain't that right, Guru?
Yeah, for sure, man. That should be fun. And I know it's you're going to be going against who this weekend?
I got Jimmy the Drunk and his girl Sally. So I'm taking on 2 people.
Oh, damn. So you don't think it's Sally making the pick?
We know it's not Sally, man. We know it's not Sally. But yeah, man, I got some competition on my hand this week. I mean, but we got some big dogs going at it. We got Brady DFS by the numbers facing Guru. 2 of the top prediction MMA people in YouTube, probably even in the game right now, up and coming. And shit, they're facing each other round 1. So somebody got to go right there. But yeah, man.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we're not in the last 3. Hopefully, but
yeah, I forgot that's how it goes. Yeah, no, even if you lose, you still got a chance to give to last out. So if you guys want in on the coalition, I'm the guy to talk to. I'm Johnny Bananas of the MTV Challenge. Check my track record. I already got the winnings. I got everybody under the wing. So just hit me on the DM. All right, so man, let's get into it, man. We're gonna start with this first fight on the card. First fight taking place at heavyweight. You got your boy Dante Amaze coming in 7-4 versus Roque Martinez coming in 15-6 right now. Dante Amaze last fight, I recall, got choked out by Nascimento, I want to say, in the first or second round. Roque Martinez, he was just fed to the lambs. His last fight out, literally, he was fed to it was Alexander Romanowski, right? Romanov. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so he fought Romanov his last fight right there. So go ahead, Lenny, kick this one off for the first fight on there, man. How do you see this one playing out?
Which is incredible. As you said there, Dante Amaze, his 2 losses in the UFC have came via submission, and neither man in his UFC career have landed a takedown. That's incredible. And Martinez has 3 submissions in his whole career in MMA. And if there's a time for him to pull out a takedown, it's now, because he needs to get that takedown against Don'Tale Mayes. He's seen the weakness of Don'Tale Mayes. It's clearly on the ground. He gets submitted he's got submitted in his last 2 fights, and that's a clear indication where he needs to take the fight.
Got it. So real quick, Guru, can you give the people some odds out there for the people that like to bet and stuff like that?
Yeah. It's my bad. I didn't have it up, man. For Mayes, he's minus 230, and Martinez is plus 190.
Got it. So, I mean, go ahead, Guru. Give your picks on this one right here. And you plan on playing anybody in a parlay or any action?
Yeah, I mean, not a very good fight for the first fight of the night, in my opinion. I mean, heavyweight fight, but Don'Tale Mayes, I mean, 0-2 in the UFC. He lost on Contender Series as well, but he has 2 wins on the Contender Series. So, I mean, he's fought – I guess he has a lot of, like, UFC level experience or whatever you want to call it, the Contender Series. But I don't know. Mayes, to me, like, his striking is kind of not very good, but he's long and he's athletic. So he doesn't really – it's unrefined, but he throws a lot of wild, like, spins and kicks and weird, like, punches. Not really a lot of stuff that he sets up, but can be kind of dangerous, and he's kind of athletic. He's going to have a huge reach advantage. So, I mean, in this fight, I think early on, at least, he's going to be kind of like a little faster and be able to outstrike Martinez. But I do think Roki's like tougher, more durable, and he's going to keep coming forward. So Mayes does tend to gas out. So I would never like bet on him at that line. So I don't know. I think it's like dog or pass. So Martinez, if you want to bet on him or not, or just pass, dude, because I would never bet on Don'Tale Mayes like minus 230.
Man, he was getting a lot of love. He came from your little alumni, right? He came from the Contender Series, so you've seen a lot of him, right?
Yeah, he fought on the Contender Series like 3 times, yeah.
And then he finally got in, and I remember right when he got in, a lot of people was making noise about him. I didn't see nothing too impressive at all, though, that I liked about him. What about you, Lenny?
When you get handed Cyril Gane in your debut, you're not going to look impressive. That guy's an absolute animal. But yeah, in his last 2 fights, he's been submitted twice. Martinez has got 3 submissions in his whole career, and no man has landed, either one of these has landed a takedown in the UFC in their career at the moment. But, you know, if Martinez is going to need to want to win this fight, I do believe he's going to take it to the ground and look for a submission.
Got it. Those are the keys to victory right there. Then that's what it seems like. On to the next fight we got taking place. We got Tony Gravely versus Geraldo de Freitas. You got Tony Gravely coming in 19 wins, 6 losses. De Freitas coming in with 12 wins and 5 losses. Tony Gravely opened up on the books, minus 190 favorite. Now he's bet all the way down to a minus 160. Money's been coming in on Geraldo. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a good fight right here. I like Tony Gravely's ability to push the pace with the wrestling and everything like that. He's not the most active fighter with the hands and everything. Makes up for it a little bit with his grappling, I believe. So, Guru, how do you see this fight taking place right here? And are you actually entertained to see it?
Yeah, this should be a good fight. I mean, it's I think it's kind of like a striker versus grappler fight, but de Freitas does kind of like to grapple a lot. He's a black belt too, but to me, I mean, I feel like Tony Gravely should win this fight, personally, just the style matchup, because I see a lot of people are like liking de Freitas, but he has this stance, like he stands real tall, like light on his feet, and it helps him out like with the movement. He throws a lot of real nice kicks and punching combinations, but it doesn't really look like he has much power. I think he only has like a couple of knockouts in his career, and you know, Gravely is a guy that he's pretty durable and he does come forward. And just the way that he stands so tall like that throughout the UFC, I mean, he's shown pretty good defense in the clinch, like takedown defense. But I did watch a couple of his regional fights. And even in the UFC, if you watch his fight with like Felipe Colares, when he has to deal with like freestyle wrestling, like wrestling on the legs, like singles, doubles, he doesn't really do very well with that. So I feel like Gravely should be able to take him down at will. Like, I think he's going to be able to take him down whenever he wants. But the thing about Gravely is he's been submitted, I think, like 5 times. So he's someone that kind of – that shows, like, bad fight IQ a little bit. And he just he slows down and fights a lot. So like that's kind of why he'll get submitted. He'll get tired and make a mistake like in the Brett Johns fight. But he gets submitted against guys that are like real high level grapplers. A lot of them, like Patrick Mix, he got submitted by Brett Johns. A couple other guys that I know are like pretty high level grapplers. So I just don't know if De Freitas is going to be able to catch him in a submission. Like he hasn't been able to submit Chris Gutierrez or Felipe Colares. And even in that fight with Chris Gutierrez, he was losing a lot of like grappling positions and stuff. So I just feel like Tony Gravely should be able to probably dominate with the wrestling and win a decision. So I got Gravely on this fight for sure.
Liking what I'm hearing right there. I got a little bit of action on Gravely right there, just a little bit. So I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. Lenny, take it away.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I'm going to take Tony Gravely in this fight. In his last fight against Brett Johns, he landed 5 takedowns. But, we saw him, get gas out, and unfortunately he got submitted in that fight. But, yeah, he said there that he gets submitted against some high-level black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's been submitted by Ricky Bandejas, Manny Benudez, Patchy Mix, and then obviously in his last fight against Brett Johns, he got submitted. But yeah, De Freitas, he's also got a wrestling game of his own. In his first 2 UFC fights, he's landed 8 takedowns in them fights. He's a very good grappler in his own right. He's never been submitted, and Gravely has been submitted, as a Guru said, 5 times in his career. This is definitely going to be a fight. I do believe they might cancel each other out, but yeah, if I'm going to give the edge, it will be Tony Gravely. I think he'll use his wrestling, take it to the ground.
Got it. I'm loving what I'm hearing there right then, man. Yeah, a few people out there got De Freitas. I see a little bit of value in them. But yeah, I'm loving what I'm hearing right there for Tony, man. Moving on down the card, shit. We got a few of them this time on there, man. Women's MMA right now. So you got Randa Marcos coming in. And she's gonna be facing somebody that's gonna be making her debut. Kanako Murata coming from Invicta. So Kanako Murata's coming in 11 wins, 1 loss. Heavy favorite, minus 170 on the books. Randa Marcos, you know the story with her, 10 wins, 9 losses, back-to-back losses, coming in underdog. If you place some money back on her, you can get back at a plus 145 right there. She's fighting out of Canada right there. Going to be a tough fight for anybody to make their debut, I think, against Randa Marcos right here. But I will say I've seen some tape on the newcomer from Invicta. I like what she has just because Randa Marcos, I don't think that she's superior just at one thing. She's good at a few things, but I don't think she's superior just at one thing. I think this is really going to come out to who can grapple her the best and really who can force their will on them the whole 15 minutes of the fight. Not 7 minutes, the whole 15 minutes of the fight right here. So me, myself, got a little bit of action on Murata. So go ahead, Lenny. How do you see this one playing out? And have you seen any tape on her in Invicta?
I haven't seen any tape on her. I haven't really watched her. But Randa Marcos, both women like to submit, go to the ground. I've seen that their records. A lot of submission from both women. You got 4 submissions for them both, and they got four submissions each in their careers. So it's definitely gonna a fight what's gonna probably end up on the ground. We've got a lot of BJJ fights in this card. We've got like a lot of grappler versus grappler fights in this event. But yeah, I don't really know too much about these women. But Randa Marcos has a 29% takedown percentage, and we should be able to get that against Murata. I'm not too sure, but I don't really know too much about her. I heard a little bit of great things about her, but we're going to see this weekend if she's the real deal.
Got it. I mean, one person I know who watches a lot of women MMA besides myself is this guy right here. He watches all the events usually on Invicta, on UFC Fight Pass. So Guru, go ahead. How do you see this fight playing out?
Yeah, good fight. I think it's a good matchup for Murata for her debut because Randa Marcos, I mean, I don't know. I feel like she's kind of on her way out. She's 35. She's lost 3 out of her last 4 fights, and this is actually her last fight was actually the first time she lost 2 fights in a row in the UFC, and she got submitted. I mean, she showed probably some of the worst fight IQ of the year when she jumped into Mackenzie Dern's guard, who's a Muay world champion. So I don't know. I mean, in this fight, it's Randa Marcos. Everyone knows. I mean, her striking has never really been that good. She kind of has that low stance and tries to use the jab, throw the straight punches. And Murata, not a great striker either, but she's pretty athletic, like quick. I think she's way more athletic than Marcos, way faster. So I think even on the feet, she's going to be able to probably win or compete a little bit. And then she's actually like a really good wrestler. Like she was like, I think like gold medalist for the Asian Games or something. And she was at the Universiade, which is like the second biggest, like besides the Olympics, I think it's the second biggest like wrestling tournament for countries. And she got like the bronze medal, I believe. So she is like a real high level wrestler, and you could see that in her fights. So, I mean, we've seen Randa get taken down by girls like Ashley Yoder. She got taken down by Amanda Hebos like 5 or 6 times. So I feel like Morodo will probably be able to take her down and control her, do her thing. So I don't know if she'll get a finish, but I think Morodo will win for sure.
Yeah, just checking out some of the pictures of Morodo right here, man. Definitely looks like a grappler. You know, don't get it twisted at all. I mean, that's definitely going to be her path to victory on there right here. So looks like she likes to eat some pizza. What is that? I don't know what she eating. But yeah, man. So definitely liking what I'm hearing right there on that as well. I kind of see it like you, Guru. Like, yeah, like Randa Marcos, she's on her way out. She's definitely a gatekeeper at that division right there. She's not doing anything. She's training in Canada. She's also still training in Michigan. So she's splitting up her training. So she's not even getting the best of it just on one whole camp right now. She's not doing anything new, you know what I mean, to make a statement in this division. So I think she's pretty much bait right here. Just easy money right here. So hopefully, man, she cashes in on it. I got her on a parlay. I got one leg on that one. Tell you guys about the next leg that I got on it as the fight goes, though. So, Lenny, why don't you take this time and introduce the next fight for the people out there, mate?
Yeah, the 5th fight of the evening, or 4th fight of the evening. I mean, Luis Smoker versus Jose Alberto Quinones. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. Yeah, but Luis Smoker is an absolute finisher, man. 7 fights, 7 wins by KO and 7 wins by submission. He's finished 14 of his 16 wins. This guy, he shows how well-rounded he is. He's finished 7 fights by KO and 7 fights for submission, as I said there. But he's a well-rounded fighter. And Jose has an average of 2.6 takedowns in his fights. And he's only finished 3 of his fights. And 2 of them came before he got into the UFC. I just feel like Luis Smoker will be better everywhere. He's good on the ground. He's good on stand-up. Hopefully we can see... hopefully we'll see a good fight on this on this fight, but I see Luis Smoker taking this fight. But I definitely see a finish because, as I said there, Luis Smoker is a finisher, and he comes. It's either kill or be killed.
Kill or be killed, huh? Well, I mean, shit. His last fight, he got killed by Kenny. Let me think. Queznos before that, we all know he was
killed by Sugar Sean.
Yeah, he got killed by Sugar Sean. So. Shit, it's kill or be killed in this fight right here. I think it's going to be a banger, though. I don't think it's going to go to the decision and the judges right here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Luis Smoker coming up in the weight class right here?
No.
Got it. Thank you. All right, so go ahead, Guru. Take it from here, man. How you see this fight taken out?
Yeah, I think it could be like a fun fight, but I think it's going to be one-sided, man. I don't really know why Quinones is like the line is so close because – I mean, I watched a few of his fights. I mean, he does have a decent record in the UFC, but when you go look at the guys that he beat, it's kind of like they'll give him these like fringe guys like that are on like 2-3 fight losing streaks, and if he beats them, they'll cut the guy, and then he fights like these prospects like Nathaniel Wood, O'Malley, and he usually loses the fight. So I don't know. I just feel like Smolka, he's going to be coming forward, and when you see Quinones, he leans back a lot, and he's real hittable. I think he's kind of chinny too. And he doesn't really like, to me, he doesn't really like getting pressured or likes, he seems like he lacks composure sometimes. Cause like in the Sean O'Malley fight, he kind of like folded a little bit. Like it seemed like he didn't even get hit that clean and got finished. And then even when you watch his fight with Nathaniel Wood, he got taken down and kind of tried to stand up immediately, gave his back and got choked out. So I feel like if Smolka puts the pressure on him, he'll probably get a finish.
Got it. Liking what I'm hearing on that as well. A little bit familiar with Luis Smoker. He trains out here in Irvine. That's like 15 minutes away from me. And another people that train from that camp is Cheeto Vera, Carla Esparza, Chris Aguilar, a few other people too. Oh shit, Alex Perez does too. as well. But yeah, it's funny. So Louis Smoker, that I get the word from of everybody I know that goes to that gym, they're like, oh yeah, regular people that just go, they're like, yeah, he's a cool guy, when we see him, hitting the pads and everything, he's just, they say he never turns up at all. It's always the same thing, so they're the one guy in the gym that they just kind of say, yeah, he kind of does everything the same. He doesn't really change anything as far as his even training goes. But we'll see, man. This one, I'm liking what I'm hearing right here. I got a little play on Smoker. I want the smoke. We want the smoke. I want the smoke. So I took him at a -135. Shout out to the Street Profits for everybody out there that didn't get that reference. But yeah, so man, give me Louis Smoker right here. Yeah. So give me Louis Smoker right here. -130 right here. So liking what I'm hearing on it. Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people that Quiznos fought is out the UFC. I like to just call them Quiznos. You know what I mean? They come and they go. But yeah, so moving on down the card, Lenny, who do we got in the next fight?
Reese McKee returning after his after the fight against Khamzat Chimaev. He's taking on Alex Morono. He's McKee is stepping up in weight. He used to fight 155 pounds, and he's still got the reach advantage and the height advantage. He's absolutely massive. I don't know how that guy got to 155 pounds. It's incredible. But when Reese McKee has won in his professional career, he's finished a fight. So if he's going to win this fight, it's going to be by finish, in my opinion. And I do see him finishing Alex Morono and returning in good fashion.
Okay.
And also an interesting fact, Moreno has never landed a takedown in the UFC. And as I said there, I feel like the fight's going to be contested on the feet, and McKee will knock him out.
Got it. Okay. Alex Moreno. Okay. Let me think what comes to hand. All right. Last part, Khaos Williams. Haven't seen Khaos Williams since. Now he's on this card. All right. Before that, fought Max Griffin in a real tough fight. I'll give it to him. Before that, what I remember, Alex Moreno, Ultimate Fighter alumni. I just remember him from the Ultimate Fighter. I was never really too impressed with him back then. Think about him now, same thing. I'm still really not that impressed with him right now. He opened up on the books at a -200 favorite right there. He's been bet down a little bit. He's at a -180 right now. Reese McKee, we all know the story with him. He just got called up about 2 months ago, got fed to Kazmat. He fought in Cage Warriors before. I'm actually a little bit higher on the potential of just seeing what Reese McKee can be compared to what I already know what Moreno is, and everything like that. So that's a little bit of rundown on these two fighters right here. I still think this one's going to be a good fight too, compared to last week. All right, so last week, a lot of those fights, I didn't think that they were going to be good fights. This fight, I think, is going to be a good one. What you think, Guru?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Alex Morono, you could say what you want about him. Maybe he's not the most technical guy, but he always has fun fights usually. He'll go in there and he goes to war. So he's fought a lot of guys, and that's kind of his advantage here, I guess. He's, I think, had 10 UFC fights, and Reese McKee's only had one UFC fight where he landed 0 strikes. So he still has landed 0 strikes in the UFC. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe that loss could have motivated McKee. Maybe it could have, demoralized him. So you don't really know where his confidence level is coming into the fight either. But when I think about this fight, I mean, I don't know. I favor Reese McKee because I think it's going to be a striking fight. There's been, I don't think Alex Morono has ever shot a takedown in his UFC career. So, yeah, it's going to be a striking fight unless Reese McKee tries to take him down, which I highly don't think is going to happen. And I just feel like Morono, maybe you'll have a little bit of success early, but McKee's a guy that I think he's the more durable guy and has better cardio. He keeps a pretty good pace. So I think he might be able to get like a late round TKO here, just being the crisper striker. But yeah, it's a good fight. I mean, Morono does have a lot of experience on him, so I wouldn't be shocked if Morono won, but I think Reese McKee will get it done.
Man, I'm loving what I'm hearing right there. For the people out there, man, like me and Guru, a lot of times we're not on the same picks, but shit, right now so far we're on, 4 of the same ones that I'm liking. The reason I'm really liking this one, because it's the underdog right here. So, I mean, if he likes this pick and I'm on this pick too as well, I'm really liking what I'm hearing as this card goes, man. We're just going to watch McKee, man. I guess he wanted to play this some importance because, he made it a big-time video on his IG. So let's see this guy, man. Let's see him put his work out in, man. He wants to let us know that Cosmo shit was just a fluke. Nah, man, that's how you guys get it over here on Seconds Out, man. Let me give some people in the chat some love, man. You got your boy Big Show Picks. What up, Beard Gang? Mecca Alliance. I already see you. You got your boy Dakota Whistler, Jimmy Johnson. Let's see here. Boston Nick, Smash Everybody, Alex Ramirez. You got your boy Zabel, Gold Caps, Just My 2 Cents. What up, man? Another Mecca Alliance man out there. We everywhere. Mr. Balter, Neil the Security. Can't go anywhere without security. Rob Chicken Wings. Everybody in the chat, man. Pub Sports Radio. Best damn MMA sports show out. For all the people out there that like to gamble and make bets, if you're looking for a gambling website to use mybookie.ag. Use your promo code PubSportsRadio. They match whatever you want, $100 or less on Bitcoin. And if you guys are trying to get bulked up out there, go to mybulksupplements.com. If you guys are trying to look all masculine like my boy Lenny out there in England, mate. Hey, my bad. I'm sorry. Roll call and time call. What time is it right now where you're at, Lenny?
It's currently 3:54 a.m.
3:54 a.m. And where are you located at right now?
Yeah. Well, I'm located in England, Newcastle, England, but I'm not from Newcastle.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Everybody in the chat, man, let us know where you at, man, so we can shout out where you're from right now, where you're repping at, what you're doing right now on this beautiful Wednesday night. We just got Impa Kasanganay on the show, so this show is gonna wrap up, a little bit quicker than usual because we had an extended interview for the people that just tuned in right now. If you guys want to scroll back a little bit when the show's over, definitely want to check it out, man. We had Impa Kasanganay on here. He only did a few interviews after his last UFC fight, and guess what? We were one of them right here, man. So next fight coming up on the card, taking place. This one's going to be, let's see, we're still in the prelims, so this one's going to be, oh, shit, another one I love right here. This is women's MMA. You got Ashley Yoder coming in, 7-6, almost a 500 fighter versus Miranda Danger Granger coming in 7-1 right now. So when this fight got announced, it was a pick'em fight, even money on both fighters. You could even got Granger at plus 105. Did my research on it. I knew who I liked at mine already, but, I asked a few people, who do they like in there? Nobody really gave me a strong prediction, so I hopped on it when I did. I took Miranda Granger at plus 105 money on her. So how do you think that's going to play out, Guru? How do you like this fight going?
Yeah, it's good. You beat the line, so you got a good line on that. And but I mean, personally, I don't really have like a confident side on this fight. But I mean, Miranda Granger, I do think she's going to be way better with the striking. I mean, I think she has better striking. But like besides that, man, I mean, when you're talking about the ground, I mean, she has a lot of these submissions like arm bars from guard, these front chokes, but I don't think that she's going to be able to catch a submission on a girl like Ashley Yoder. I don't think her grappling is really that good. I mean, we saw in her last fight, she got put to sleep with that rear naked choke against Amanda Lemos. So, I mean, Ashley Yoder, she's she's a girl that has a lot of experience, and she's taking a lot of people down, controlled them. She's good at taking the back, but she's not really like dangerous. She's not a finisher. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to if Granger could stay off of her back. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with Granger, but I'm not like super confident.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, tough little fight right there. Lenny, mate, go ahead, take it away. How you see this one playing out?
Yeah, Guru put it perfectly here. Once again, we got another BJJ fight, I reckon, because both ladies, if you add up their wins altogether, they come up with 14 wins, and they're both they've finished 10 of them. These girls like to finish, and Granger has finished five of hers by submission, and she's even got a KO on her record. But she's also been submitted, and Ashley Yoder is an absolute prolific BJJ practitioner. She's really good on the ground, and she's called Spider Monkey for a reason. She likes getting on people's back, and if she gets onto Granger's back, she, as we saw in her last fight, she got submitted by Amanda rear naked choke. It could be a long night for Granger, and we could see her get submitted.
Yeah, 79% on Tapology going with Granger. That's the only thing I don't like, man. Some of the picks that I like, I like to kind of be, one or the few only on them. But, in 79% right there, that kind of says a lot right there. So, I mean, yeah, I beat the line where it came, but I mean, I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. Speaking of beating and stuff, man, like what MMA Locker Room is gonna do when it comes down to this mecha competition on Mr. Arkansas's channel, it's gonna look something like this, y'all. Just like that. All right. It's gonna look just like that. All right. And you know who I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be the guy standing up. Whoever I'm facing that week, that's them right there. That's how it's going down on the mecha competition right there on Mr. Arkansas's channel. Everybody get a nice looking glance. That's me. That's you that week. Period. So if you don't want to be on that side of the field, I'm trying to tell you right now, DM me. I'm the man. Come on. Like that's how it's gonna go, Guru, man. I'm trying to tell these people.
Yeah, man.
Nah, man, that's Granger right there, though, man. I just had to show you guys, man. Tough chick right here, man. I mean, coming into a fight, everything like that. She's what I want to see. She's the one with way more potential coming into the fight. She has something to prove right here, especially coming off a loss and everything. So I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to this fight right here, though, man. And like I said, mecha competition, me, y'all opponent. All right, man. Y'all get it, man. All right, man. That's just how we rolling, man. So we still on the prelims right there. That's going to be the main one on it, though. So pay attention to that one. Now we're going to roll out with this main card right here. We got Brandon Allen, 15-3, middleweight coming in versus Sean, the business Strickland, 21-3. Just fought about 3 weeks ago. Before that, didn't see him in about 2 years out there. All right, so, I mean, this was supposed to take place at 185, but now it's the catchweight coming in at 195 due to Brandon Allen not fighting last week against Ian Heinisch. So, shit, this is going to be a fucking banger fight right here. It's a pick'em price. Both fighters right now is at a -110. So, either way you want to go, this is the time that you might want to sit back and, see where the line goes if you're trying to get underdog money on one of your fighters. But I got money on Brandon Allen right here. I think he's going to get it done. Lenny, mate, go ahead, kick it off, man. How do you see this one going?
I see Brendan Allen as well taking this fight. I think he's just the better finisher. I think like Strickland in his last fight looked absolutely incredible. His striking looked rejuvenated. He looked technical on the feet against Jack Marshman, who's a good striker in his own right, but he just swings punches, and he did get clipped a few times from Jack Marshman, but he showed he can take a punch from Jack Marshman, who's got really good power in his hands. But so I feel like Allen won't trouble Strickland on the feet with the power, because he took the power of Jack Marshman. But I feel like Brendan Allen will be different on the floor. He will take him to the ground and end up submitting him, and we'll end up seeing him get a submission win.
Got it. So you like Brandon Allen right there. Before we get to Guru, man, shout out to all the 56 listeners right there on this Wednesday night, man. We got a lot of people in the chat. Give you guys some love right now, man. You got Just My 2 Cents. You got Exotic TC. I believe that's Xavier. You got Justin Jr., the MMA Demon. You got Gamer Bod. You got Big Show Picks, the one and only. Let's see here. Oh shit. Yeah, Bloodthirsty MMA, Curry Ninja, MMA, Gold Caps, and Nil the Security, man. Shout out everybody, man. We're just rolling through this little UFC card right here, giving you guys all the updated news and stuff like that. And just for you guys out there, man, if you guys want to watch some MMA right now, it's on right now. Main event on XFC. It's Aju Sukumtop versus Ferreira. So yeah, that's going on right now, round 1. So yeah, that's what we're doing as well. Just watching a little bit of that. I'm addicted to MMA. All right, Guru, man. So how do you see this fight coming out in this one, man? I predict it's gonna be fireworks, man. You had Sean Strickland that was beating up Marshman over there. I was like, come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. Just beating him up, talking to him, like telling him, fight back, Jack. Like, man, that's some nerve right there, bro. You come around and do that, man. I might have to get my boy Impa on you or something, man. But Guru, man, go ahead, man. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, you guys seem super confident in Brandon Allen. I mean, I'm really not that confident. I mean, I think Sean Strickland is clearly the better fighter. I mean, if you put it on paper, I think he's way like on the feet, he's like way better. I don't think it's even close. Like Strickland, he's gonna have the the straight punches, the jabs, the two, and it's just gonna come down to Allen is a guy that doesn't really like respect people's striking. He like comes in, tries to like close the distance and throw these big shots, get in the clinch and take you down. So Strickland, I mean, if this fight was at 185 and he had like some time to prepare for it, I would pick him to win like all day. I think he's like a much better fighter overall. But with the fight being at 195, like 2 weeks notice, it does make it a little bit tricky because, I do feel like, I don't know, Strickland, I think he's the stronger guy personally, to be honest with you, like if they like clinched up, stuff like that. But I just don't know what type of game plan he's going to come in with, because if he comes in with a game plan like to stick and move with the striking and hit takedowns, I think he'll be able to hit takedowns too on Brendan Allen. And if he does that, I think he'll win the fight like pretty easily. I think he's like on top. He'll be able to control, take the back. I mean, we saw Kyle Dawkins kind of dominate Brendan Allen on top in the third round, but I just don't know if he's going to come in with that type of game plan. And we did see when he fought Kamaru Usman, he was able to defend the takedowns pretty good against Kamaru Usman. I think Usman only got like 1 or 2 takedowns on him, especially in the clinch. He was able to, get out of the clinch pretty easily. So that kind of does give me some confidence that he'll be able to stuff a lot of these takedowns. And Brendan is a guy that does slow down in that third round like really bad. So Strickland, I think he's like, I don't know. I feel like he should be the favorite to win the fight, but for some reason, I'm just feeling like Allen might win just by I don't know, like just doing more coming forward and being like that, like just I don't know, maybe doing a little bit more, but I feel like Strickland should win the fight. To be honest with you, he really should.
But you actually think, because I'm hearing everything you're saying, but the last part right there just threw me off, because I feel on the contrary. I think Sean Strickland would be the one coming forward doing more compared to Brandon Allen. You actually think like Brandon Allen would be doing more like coming forward compared to Sean Strickland on the feet?
Yeah, well, I just try maybe not like throwing more, but just like getting in the clinch and like forcing exchanges, stuff like that. Just because I feel like he might just want it more a little bit. I don't know, but it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. I don't know. This is like I know Strickland opened as like a big favorite, man.
Oh, he did. Hey, shout out to all the 62 people live rocking out there, man. Yeah, if we can get this up to 70 people out there, man, we highly appreciate it, man. I guarantee I'll make Lenny do something real American, man. Guaranteed, man. So if we get 70 live viewers out there, I'll make Lenny do something real American that he probably won't know what we're talking about, So definitely, man. Shout it out. Hit this share button. Hit this like button all the time. This is only our third week out here on this Second Sound MMA show. Tell a friend and tell a friend. We cover it all. Lenny, tell them what we do on this show.
We do predictions. We tell you who to bet on, who's the likely favorite to win. We tell you we do recaps of the last fight, how impressive they are, who should they fight next. We tell you the newly MMA news. We do it all here in Seconds Out, and we are joined by one of the best people on YouTube, MMA Prediction Guru, MMA Locker Room. This is the best show to be.
Nice. Hey, Guru, so far, man. So just going over some of the fights that we went over so far. That was the first one on the main event. I believe we got a few left, but let the people out there. Do you got any plays on any of those fights that we broke down so far, or are you playing it safe this week?
Yeah, I do have. I bet on Reese McKee and on Luis Smoke already, and I think I might make a play on Tony Gravely potentially.
Let's go. Hey, yeah, you waited on that Gravely money line, because that's at the lowest that it was at. It opened up at a -190, man, when it first came out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, a lot of money came on De Freitas. I don't really know. I don't know. I guess it's because of the submission.
Got it, man. Next fight coming in. This is going to be taking place at middleweight right here. You got Antonio Arroyo versus Eryk Anders. Antonio Arroyo coming in 9 wins, 3 losses. Last time you seen him, he had a loss. He's the underdog in the fight, +125 versus Eryk, your boy Anders, coming in with 13 wins, 5 losses. Last time you seen him too, he took that L, but it's nothing, man. He's always ready to fight. He came in the favorite, opened up at a -155. Now he's all the way bet down to a -130. Good fight right here. I'll be quite honest, man. When this fight got announced, I thought Arroyo would actually be the favorite, just because he already had a fight coming up I believe he was supposed to fight Michaelitis or some shit like that. Michaelitis had to pull out. Aaron comes to your boy Eryk Anders to fill in on replacement. So yeah, definitely, man. I got to play on Antonio Arroyo right here. Lenny, break down the fight. Let us know how you see.
Yeah, this fight is a really interesting fight. When Eryk Anders fights, he brings it, man. This guy's got power in his hands. A former NFL fighter and stepping up in transition to MMA, just like Impa. You know, these guys got a similar background. But Antonio has never been KO'd, and I do feel like Eryk Anders with his heavy hands will pressure this, and we might see a knockout from Anders. But you know, I don't really know too much about Antonio Arroyo. I can't remember about his last fight, but you know, Anders is a guy that comes to bring it. He's never in a dull fight. But yeah, I feel like Eryk Anders has some heavy hands, and I do believe he'll maybe put him out.
Got it. All right, so out of Eryk Anders, what is some of when he comes to your mind? What is one of your favorite fights or your favorite moments that come to mind when you say Eryk Anders? I know the one in mind. I just want to see if you're thinking the same.
Would it be the soccer kick against Tom Williams?
Mate, there we go, mate.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He punted that mug, man. Yeah, that's the one thing that comes to mind when I remember about Eryk Anders, man. That one kick, he just lined that dude up. Looked like he was kicking a field goal in there right there, mate. Yeah, so now I just want to see, man, because that's what's up. You got your boy right there, Eryk Anders on it. Okay. Guru, man, how you see this fight taking place right here? You know, Eryk Anders, it seems like he's due for a win. You know, he fought Krzysztof Joko, I think, or pretty close, you know, in there. Even though Joko won, I thought Joko won too, made a little bit of money on it. But it seems like, you know, Eryk Anders has that determination, you know. I think he's training with the right people. I think he was on Fight Island a couple of weeks ago out there with Casey Kenny and stuff like that too. How do you see this fight taking place?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super interested in this fight. Like, I think both these guys are not very good. I mean, when you look at Eryk Anders, I don't know, he's kind of slow. He's a slow fighter and like inches forward and tries to like land these big overhands, hooks, close the distance and like hug you against the cage. His wrestling is horrible, man. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. He has like the single leg and his hips are so high. It's like you're never going to finish a takedown like that. But he is big, strong, and you'll control guys against the cage. And I mean, he's had some good fights. Like he had a close fight with Thiago Santos a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, his recent fights, he's, like I said, he just doesn't really, he's not fast, so he doesn't deal with movement very well. Like Jocko is just moving around and kicking him and just staying at range. And Arroyo, I mean, I'm not like a big fan of him either. He's like a 3-minute cardio guy. Like he'll have like really good cardio for the first start of the fight, throw a lot of like spinning kicks, jumping kicks, hard kicks, like body kicks, leg kicks. And then after that, though, man, I mean, he slows down so bad. Like in the third round of a lot of his fights, he's like completely exhausted, loses the round. So I would never bet on a guy like that either. I mean, a guy that completely gasses out like that. So I don't know. I'm going to say Arroyo maybe will win like the first 2 rounds with his kicks and movement, and then lose the third round, and win a decision. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. He'll probably be a little bit too fast for Anders, at least at the beginning of the fight. And then it's going to just be like if he gasses out before the second round, or he can win the second round and, you know, get the decision. So,
yeah, man, I'm liking what I'm hearing on that one as well, man. Cause like, yeah, I thought, honestly, I thought I was going to be in the least majority on that one. I thought everybody was just going to say Anders. I took the dog on that one. I got him at plus 112 on there. Like I said, I like Anders as, you know, as an entertaining fight, but I don't see nothing polished about him, and kind of the same things that you just said, man. He's slow out there, and we all seen what can happen to him. So yeah, man, I got him Roro right here. I think the only thing I'm not worried about. I'm actually, you know, looking forward to. He hasn't fought in I think like a year or so. So I think, you know, right now when he comes back, he should be improved on some of the techniques. You know, just like how we see him right here, you know, striking and stuff. That's what I like to see. You know, sometimes when you scroll through people's Instagram and Twitter feed, you know, I like to see exactly what are they doing. You know, you see some people just post it out there with their significant others, you know, and posting monumental scriptures about life to where it's like, nah, bruh, show me what you're doing in the gym. That's what I want to see. You know, what improvements you're with, what new camp are you doing? You know, stuff like that. So good stuff so far coming out of here, man. Lenny, mate, take it, man. What's the next fight coming on the card?
We got Julian Marquez versus or was it Corey McKenna versus Kay Hansen?
Yeah, mine is Kay versus Corey.
Yeah, okay. And I had it different on ESPN. It said it was Kay Hansen was on the prelims. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's women's MMA.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Kay Hansen versus Corey McKenna, the Welsh. She was on the contender series. You know, she impressed enough to get a contract. She's 21 years old. Both women are 21 years old. They're very young in their career. Hansen is very good on the ground. She's got 4 submissions in her loss and in her 7 fight in her 7 wins. Yeah, Hansen's. I feel like she's definitely going to take it to the ground. She's going to use her 10th planet jiu-jitsu. You know, when you hear a fighter fights out of her 10th planet jiu-jitsu, you know she's great on the ground. You know she's definitely fantastic, and just like you know she's going to be lethal in her Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I do feel like she's going to take it to the ground. Both women are 21 years old, but I just feel like Kay Hansen has that experience in the UFC already with fighting her last fight against Jon Frey, I think it would be. She got the submission of winning that night, and I do feel like she's going to pick up another submission win against Corey McKenna.
Got it. So for the people out there that don't know, man. So yeah, you got Hansen. She came up, I believe, her last fight was against Frey. She got the submission, I believe, but I think she was losing that fight before that happened right there. And then McKenna right here, I believe she fought on the contender series this year. You know, dominated that fight. Only had like 4 fights under her belt. Also fought in Cage Warriors right here. You know, so right here, you know, yes, I agree with what you're saying about Hansen. Yeah, she trains out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. They're known for one thing, you know, but McKenna, man, she's down and dirty to fight. I think when it comes down to it, man, I like the dog in this one right here. So I'm going to be going with McKenna to win this one. Guru, already seen a little bit of your predictions too. So go ahead and tell them a little bit about McKenna and then tell them about Hansen as well.
Yeah, I like this fight. I actually did like a lot of tape study for this fight for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting fight. I mean, it's 2 girls that really like are pretty good grapplers, to be honest with you. I mean, Kay Hansen, I feel like she's like kind of, I don't know why she's like such a big name prospect. She's kind of overrated to me. She has like a lot of losses. I mean, she's lost almost 4 times already. She's lost 3 times. Her fight with, she had a fight with this girl Peralta, who you know, was beating her the whole fight, and she got like a 3rd round kind of Hail Mary submission win in that one. So she could be 6-4, and yeah, I mean, just with this fight, I just feel like on the feet, Corey McKenna is going to be the way better striker. I mean, she switches stances. She has pretty good combinations with her hands, decent boxing. And Hansen, your striking is just not really that good. So I feel like on the feet, McKenna is definitely going to be like way more fluid in terms of striking. And with the grappling, I mean, Hansen maybe will be like a little bit stronger. But I actually think McKenna has really good timing, like on her takedowns. And her defense is really good. Like when she gets taken down, she immediately go to the butterfly guard. She'll pass, she'll switch. And I feel like she's just going to be able to just win a decision here, just be a little bit better grappler, a little bit better striker. And it'll be a close fight, but I think Corey will get the win.
Got it. So you telling me right now you going with the underdog on this one?
Yeah, man. I got McKenna for sure.
Let's go. Put the money where the mouth is. You got any money on this one?
Not yet, but I'm gonna bet on it for sure. I feel like the line will get better.
Got it. Correct me too if I'm wrong. Wasn't McKenna the one that fought on the contender series? Her opponent, Demopoulos, that was the girl that was like a part-time stripper too, right?
Yeah. The
right?
Chick. Yeah, man, dude, watch her last fight was dope though. If you watch her last fight on from Invicta, dude, or it was in LFA, my bad. It was in LFA. That fight was sick. She fought like Lupi something. It was a real good fight though.
Lupita Godinez.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. So yeah, dog. See, so what? That's 3 women's fights. Like yeah. I like women's MMA. I think that one's gonna be a good one. I think the line is way off. I mean, way off. Hansen right now is minus 230. I know a lot of people probably parlayed her and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't see why she's a minus 230 at all. If honestly, I can see like a pick'em price or a minus 130 on her, but yeah, this line is way off on her. So I hopped on it. You know, I got a half on McKenna right there. I got 3 underdogs that I'm playing. So the thing is this: it's not even underdogs. I would play them regardless. And just that they're underdogs to me even gives me even more value on it. So it is what it is, man. So yeah, man. Moving on down the card, man. I think we only got a few fights left. Let's see right here. Hey, Lenny, run through the chat real quick. Let some people give some people some love right there.
Yeah, oh my God, I was just realized I was on mute. Oh my God. I want to say shout out to Smash everybody in the chat. You're giving us support, and just my 2 cents been in there from the start. And is it exotic? Saying I was backing up Marshman. I wasn't backing up Marshman. I said he just landed some good shots and in that fight, but Strickland took him well. But yeah, big up, big show picks. Jimmy Johnson in the chat as well. We got Justin Jr. in the chat. Shout out to him. Who else we got? We got Curry Ninja MMA. Big up Bloodthirsty MMA. We got a lot of people in the chat. Thank you guys for joining. This is the best show on YouTube.
Yes, sir, man. Best MMA show out, man. Why? Because we do it all, man. We cover it all, man. We give you guys news, predictions, the updates, who's happening, giving you guys that basic talk that everybody just want to sit back and talk about, man. It's not just UFC. We do Bellator. We do One Championship. We do LFA. Shit, when Cage Warriors is on, they got somebody good. I'm going to be covering that too, man. Oh, and by the way, this XFC shit's just over. It looks like Andre Sukmatar, I believe he's going to lose. It's about to get announced, though, right here. We'll see shortly, though, man. So moving on down the card, man. Another fight taking place at middleweight right here. Julian Marquez versus Safarov right here. So Julian Marquez coming in a heavy favorite. Minus 300 favorite, 3-1 favorite. 7 wins, 2 losses. Safarov coming in 9 wins, 3 losses, both coming off a loss right here. Julian Marquez, real familiar with this guy right here, man. I remember him on the Contender series. For the people that's familiar with Phil Hughes, Phil Hawes. Phil Hawes was making his debut versus him. Phil Hawes was a heavy favorite on there. And Julian Marquez, I believe, knocked his ass out. He goes by the Cuban Missile. Another thing about this guy, he has one of the dope podcasts out too. He has a podcast with Kendra Lust on there, so definitely, man, he's one of the entertaining guys out there in the UFC, man. So how do you guys see this fight taking place?
Yeah, this is another fight, man, where I don't agree with the line at all. I think it's like crazy. I don't know why mine is 300. I mean, I feel like this fight's just like, this is a weird fight. It's like, I think both these guys are kind of not very skilled, They kind of just go in there and brawl. Like Marquez's fights are always fun to watch because he just goes to war. It's like kill or be killed type of style. And Safarov is the same thing. I mean, on the feet, they're just going to trade. It's going to be wild. And I don't know. Someone's going to either knock each other out or Saparbek is going to start. I feel like he could probably take down Marquez. I mean, Marquez's grappling isn't that good. He's been taken down by like Darren Stewart. He got taken down a lot of times by Alessio Di Chirico. But the thing about Marquez is, I mean, he's been able to, like, he doesn't accept bottom position and he'll keep getting up and, like, kind of tire these guys out. And he's had success beating, like, these grapplers. Like, he beat Cameron Olson, who's, like, a pretty good grappler. He beat, like you said, Phil Hawes. He beat some guys that are decent grapplers. So I feel like he'll probably be able to outlast Saparbek and maybe get, like, a late submission or a finish. But yeah, I mean, all the value is on Safarov to win the fight to me. I mean, I don't know why he'd be that big of a favorite. He hasn't fought in over 2 years either, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Real weird, man. Shit, he was supposed to fight, I think, like a month and a half ago, and I forget who the opponent was, but I think it was a way better or entertaining fight. When this fight got announced, I was like, oh, shit, man, you might get this L. I've been looking for you to come back, it's always cool when you see somebody on Instagram and shit and Twitter that like your comments and comment back on your videos and shit. So, I've been at this dude for like the last year and a half. Like, man, when are you going to come back in the ring? Shit, seems like right now though it's against the wrong opponent. Minus 300 favor right here though. I hope he gets it done on there, man. But I think this is gonna be that one fighter. If you put him in your parlay, you're gonna be waiting, and you know this can be the one that can lose it all on there, man. So Guru, let's hit him with an accurate line. Go ahead, man. What should the line be for this fight predicted? You know, eventually.
I don't know. I'd say like Marquez like minus 175.
Got it. Yeah, man. Let's try to see. All right, let's see what's Marquez working on at camp right here. Okay, he's blocking head kicks, y'all. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, okay. Exactly. Yeah, man. That's the one thing. All right, let's see what he's doing now. Oh, he's playing an old video of him dancing in the octagon, y'all. Okay, let's see the next one, man. He got to be doing something where he's training or doing. Oh, he's doing a podcast, y'all. He's doing a show. Okay, all right. Let me see the next one though. Oh, he wants me to see his hat. All right, cool. He's gonna be training. He's gonna be somewhere. He's gonna be getting ready for a fight. Oh, he wants to see his interview. Okay, yeah, man. See, one thing, man, I want to point out right there. A little bit disappointed on. Like I said, I pay attention to people's Instagrams and Twitter. I'm not seeing you in there training, bro. Like you should be in there with everybody. You know, getting work in with everybody right now. You know, it seems like you're just living your life. You know, in other words, so. I think, yeah, that line is definitely going to be off in there. So definitely looking forward to see how that fight plays off in there, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat rocking with us right now, man, on Pub Sports Radio, man. Hey, Guru, man, when you're not on Pub Sports Radio, man, and you're not on other shows doing your thing, where can they find you out on your own channel?
Yeah, man, you could find if you just go to YouTube, you type in MMA Prediction Guru, you'll find my channel, and yeah, you could subscribe there. I do a lot of different breakdowns, prediction videos. So yeah, I appreciate all the support I could get for sure.
Yes, sir. Lenny, mate, MMA Unhinged, man. When you're not on Pub Sports Radio out here, you know, in England, what time is it right now?
4:30.
There we go, man. Where can they find you at and give them a little bit of what you're doing, you know, what you're up to lately?
MMA Unhinged 01 on Instagram. We have 01 because I couldn't get that MMA Unhinged. Someone's got it and he has uploaded for 3 years. I don't want to use my English terminology here, but it's really pissing me off. But, you know, we'll move on. But, yeah, MMA Unhinged 01 on Instagram and on Facebook and Twitter. We're MMA Unhinged. Check us out on there. Also on YouTube is on YouTube with MMA Unhinged as well. Go subscribe. I do daily interviews, you know, regular interviews. I try to get out 3 a week. I've got one up coming up in the morning, actually, at 12 o'clock in the morning. So I got to be up in about 6 hours to get that interview done. So, you know, it's an exciting time for me. Everyone, make sure you check me out. MMA Unhinged on Instagram, MMA Unhinged on Twitter, and MMA Unhinged on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Thank you guys for watching and for the support.
Yes, sir, man. Dedicated MMA, man. That's what we do here, man. That's what I love about this show. We just talk MMA no matter what time, no matter where it's at. You know, we're international with it here on Seconds Out. Hey, go ahead and so right now, man, we got a few more fights on the card. Actually, we only got 2. So before we get to that, man, I'm gonna just give some people in the chat some love, man. You got Bloodthirsty MMA, you got Dakota Whistler, Alex Ramirez, Big Show Picks, Justin Jr. MMA, Notorious, Nick Rodriguez, Jack Attack MMA. What's up, man? Let's see. And yeah, shout out to Jeff Slaughter, man, the one and only, man, the creator of Pub Sports Radio. You know, they got their own thing coming out on Friday called Talking Hands, where they give you guys big bets on UFC predictions and stuff like that. You guys want to follow Entertaining too? You guys need to follow Slaughter on Twitter as well. It's putting out big bets on there, big winners, big hitters. That's just how it goes, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, though, man. So, yeah, going on. This was set up to be the main event. Once the main event got debunked. So now we got Abdul Alhassan. Oh shit, I fucked him up. Yeah. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about, man. Alhassan versus Khaos Williams. Alhassan 10 wins, 2 losses, coming off a loss that we just seen him. Then you got Khaos Williams. He's coming in back off of a win over Alex Moreno, knocking his ass out in, like, I think the first round, I believe. It a little bit weird to me to where, we haven't seen him ever since then. It's been like a year now. So I think Khaos Williams going to come in a little bit better, than you seen him last time, even though we don't know what it is because we only seen him for a little bit of time. But give you guys some betting odds out there because that's what we do here. I know we got action on here out there in the chat. So you got Alhassan opened up at a -220 favorite. A lot of people put a little bit of money on him right now. He's at a -230 favorite. I don't think that line is too bad right now just because his last fight that he was coming off of, he was roughly around a -240, 250 favorite, and that's coming off of a 2-year layoff. So right now, I believe that line is going to get higher. So if you guys want to play him in any parlays or anything like that, if you guys do, I suggest you guys do it now because I believe that line is probably going to get up to like a -275, I say, before the fight that goes. But yeah, man, I think this right here is going to be a banger of the fight right here. Shit. A lot of people probably think it's not going to get out of the second round. Me, once my bookie gives me that prop to play the second round, I'm playing it. But yeah, so it's going to be an explosive fight right here. Lenny, I'll let you take it from here. How do you see this fight fighting out?
This is an absolute unbelievable fight. It's definitely going to be fight tonight for sure. This is one of the fights that's going to be an absolute banger. Abdul Alhassan is an absolutely, his hands, the power he has in his hand is absolutely incredible. We saw his last fight against Munez Lazes. He kind of gassed out a bit, and he kind of lost that power in his hands. He slowed down a lot in the second and third. But I feel like he's going to learn from that mistake. He's not going to gas out. He's going to time himself, and he's going to come back in this fight with bad intentions. And I do see him knock out Khaos Williams.
Got it. All right, give me a round prediction on that, then, Lenny.
Oh damn.
You think it's going to end in the first round like a lot of people think? I mean, I will say this. 80%, I would say, yes, it's going to end in the first round. Me, because that's where he's always throwing pretty much he's the most explosive. What do you think?
Yeah, if it's going to be a knockout, it's going to be the first round. But, if Khaos Williams can get out that first round, he's going to take the fight. He's going to take over.
Got it. Okay. Guru, how do you see this fight taking out for the co-main event on here? And let me ask you another question before that. Do you think this is warranted of the co-main event on here? And if not, then what fight do you?
Yeah, I mean, for this card, I think so. It's probably unless you want to put like Strickland versus Allen in there, but it's a fun fight. It's like a, explosive fight. So I don't think it's that bad, but yeah, I mean, talking about the fight, I feel like Alhassan has like a lot of value, man. I'm not really I watched Khaos Williams, his striking isn't really that good. I mean, when you see him striking in the pocket, his chin is like right in the air, man. I don't think he's going to want to strike with Alhassan. I mean, he's going to have a chance maybe to land his left hook and hurt him first. But I think Abdul will probably knock him out really quick if they strike. I mean, really, Khaos, if you watch a lot of his fights, he's like a wrestler, man. He tries to hit takedowns, push you against the cage and do that. And I don't think he's going to be able to take down Alhassan in the clinch. He's not really like a guy that freestyle wrestles. So yeah, I think Alhassan should win, and I think it'll be a first round knockout. Maybe it'll be in 30 seconds, man. So I think Alhassan will win really fast. If you look at his fights, he's never even won a fight that went past the first round. So
yeah, hey, so I mean the value. So yeah, man, like that's what I'm on right now. So honestly, for him to be a -230 right now, I believe he's at, that's where he's at before when I seen him 2 days ago. Like I said, he opened up his last fight at a -250. Ain't that line kind of low for him?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you could say that. I actually bet on Muniz on the last fight, but yeah, I mean, I think he could be a bigger favorite on this fight.
Got it. Yeah, no, that was the one thing I was just noticing on that fight too, man. Definitely gonna be a banger for the fight though, right there, man. So yeah, that's the co-main event on there. So shit, we got one more fight to go on here. Go ahead, Lenny, introduce this fight right here. It's gonna be a hell of a fight right here, right, mate?
100%. Paul Felder saving the day, stepping in at short notice to fight RDA. Islam Makhachev unfortunately got an injury, couldn't fight. But Paul Felder stepped in. What an absolute warrior. This guy's got some big bollocks to come into this fight, and he loves some wars. Against in his last fight, against Dan Hooker, a lot of people thought he won that fight, and Dan Hooker's a very, 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 very good fighter. But both men like to go to the scorecards, though. That's the problem. Felder has fought 4 decisions in a row. So if you're going to bet on something, I'm not a betting man, but I would bet on the decision, most likely. But the only problem before this fight, I kind of mentioned this earlier, that Paul Felder has not really been training for an MMA fight. He's been training for a marathon. Would that affect him in this fight? I'm not too sure. Has he been sparring leading up to this fight? We don't know, but he's been training for a marathon. All I know is that he's going to be in fit condition, but let's see how he turns up in the night.
Wait. You said he's been training for a marathon. So in other words, he's just been doing a lot of cardio is what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Got it. I like that a lot. And his last fight was against Dan Hooker, right? And it was that fucking war, right?
Yeah, 100% in Australia, I believe. Got it.
So now, all right, cool. Refresh my whole memory, 100%. I had Dan Hooker in that fight to get the win. Close fight. A lot of people thought that Felder won. I didn't. But I remember it vividly after the fight. Felder was like, the only way I'm coming back is if it's worth it, man. Like, I got my daughter at home and this and that. And I was like, whoa, bro, like chill out, So like he took his time off. He did what was right. I love him announcing and calling the fights and stuff like that. So in other words, he was letting it be known that he wasn't going to come back unless like it was worth it. And shit, I mean, this must have been worth it. They must have offered this guy some fucking money, man. This is probably going to be honestly one of his even highest paydays, because when you take a fight on short notice, they give you a little bit more on your fight pay too as well. But yeah, man, for him to take this fight right now on a 5-day notice, and like you said, he's been training for a camp right here. He opened up, I think, at I don't know exactly. I think it was a plus 135, but I know Dos Anjos opened up at a minus 180 favorite. So shit, Guru, man, like, how you see this fight playing out right here?
Yeah, this is a good fight, but man, I mean, I got to go with the RDA all day on this fight. I think that I don't know. I mean, Paul Felder, he's a guy, like, to me, he's like a fun guy to watch for sure. He's like an action fighter. He's had like a lot of big wars in the UFC, but he's not on the level of RDA, in my opinion, man. I mean, RDA is like former champion. He's if you look at RDA's resume, man, I mean, look at all the guys that guy's fought. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, like I was hearing, like, I'll say this has nothing to do with the prediction, but like RDA was he called out Michael Chandler, and then Michael Chandler was saying like he has other plans or whatever. Like, man, like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, RDA, dude, like, that fool, he fought, like, everyone in the UFC, man. Like, you're going to say, oh, like, you're too big to fight RDA. Like, come on, dude. Yeah. Like, and RDA would probably beat the shit out of that guy. But, I mean, when you're thinking of this fight with Paul Felder, it's like, I don't know. I mean, Paul Felder, is he really, like, why did he decide to take this fight? Because he said he retired before. He was going to retire. And then even in interviews leading up to the fight, like with Ariel Helwani saying like, oh, it's 50% chance this is my last fight. It's like, I don't think that's something you really want to go into a fight. Like RDA, he's going down to 155 again. So he's obviously like rededicated himself. He has to cut all that weight. And he's talking about winning the belt, man. So it's like a much different, in my opinion, mindset with both these guys. I think RDA still kind of has the will to keep going, where Felder, like you said, he's kind of just picking off these big fights. Like, I'm sure he thinks RDA is a legend. He's getting to fight in the main event. And, like, fuck, if he wins, then shit, he'll.
My bad. Go ahead.
Well, if he loses, then, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, he's not – I don't think he really cares too much. I think that he's, like – going to be on like the commentary and it is what it is type thing. So he's kind of taking like a chance, but yeah, I just feel like, man, Paul Felder, it's like two Muay Thai guys, but I think RDA is going to be the guy pressuring forward, obviously throwing the low kicks, kind of like breaking him down. Felder tries to throw a lot of those spins and stuff like that, but since it's a southpaw versus southpaw matchup, I don't really think he's going to be able to land like a lot of those spinning attacks that he lands like in a lot of his fights. And, I mean, I think RDA is going to have the cardio advantage, even though he's doing the marathon thing. Especially if he grapples, like we saw Dan Hooker take down Paul Felder. There's been a lot of guys that have been able to take down Paul Felder, so I think RDA will be able to probably take him down. And yeah, I mean, Paul Felder's a tough guy. He's never been finished before, but I think RDA will probably win a decision, like dominant decision.
Damn. Okay. So you don't see the decline a little bit of RDA, you know, within these last 2 years and stuff like that. A little bit that don't.
For sure, but he's fighting all grapplers though. Like, and the guys that he's losing to are all grapplers. So, I mean, I don't think Felder's not gonna even try to take him down. And RDA is a way better grappler than Felder. So
yeah,
it's a good matchup.
So with that being said, yeah, I think Felder only averages like 0.5 takedowns per 15 minutes, and I think your boy RDA averages 1.5 per 15 minutes. Let me ask you this: do you think RDA is going to implement that game plan of actually taking them down?
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, when you look at it, like he was going to fight Islam, so he's obviously probably been training grappling a lot, and then he's even going to be on that Submission Underground with Donald Cerrone in like December. So he is training for a jiu-jitsu competition too. So yeah, I mean, he's probably going to feel good. He's going to go back down to 155. I'm sure Felder's not going to feel as big as these guys at 170. So I don't know. I mean, when you look at it, like he lost to Chiesa, but like he lost to Leon Edwards, Usman, Colby Covington, Tony Ferguson, and Eddie Alvarez. It's like all those guys would destroy Paul Felder. So I don't know. Like Paul Felder lost to Mike Perry, man.
Yeah, but that was also on a short fight notice though. He took that fight on short fight notice too, I believe. But yeah, man, that was a bad.
He was still fighting though. He was still fighting. He just like his opponent pulled out, and then he still had like a full camp. Like his opponent pulled out, and then they just switched the opponent and like the weight to 170. But he still had like a full camp. But yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad loss, man. I still remember that.
He lost to Ross Pearson, man. This guy, he's not like
a horrible loss right there. That's a horrible loss. You can't take that loss back at all, man. For real, a loss to Ross Pearson, man. Shit. What about? Let me ask you this about Dos Anjos, because when you brought that up, I remember this shit vividly too. Shit, I had a bet on Michael Chiesa at plus 220 underdog. On that fight for Dos Anjos, and I was real confident in that fight because I think it was Chiesa's second fight at welterweight, and he just looked like fucking amazing to me. I think who did you have in that fight, or did you have Dos Anjos too in that fight, or what?
Yeah, I think I picked RDA, but I can't even remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean that fight was a weird fight. That was like where RDA like dominated the second round, and then it looked like he kind of just was like gassed out. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, he's obviously not as good as he used to be, but I just don't think he's going to lose to a guy like Paul Felder, man. I don't think he's going to lose to Paul Felder.
Yeah, nah. In other words, it's like levels to this shit, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I hear you. Shit, that's the main event right there, man. So, yeah, RDA right there. Yeah, if Paul Felder, I would say if he had a regular camp and if he, was coming back like motivated to win, but like I said, he did the weirdest thing, and made it seem like he was never going to come back unless it was like, for a top guy or a top name or, for some top money or something like that, So nothing really changed too much, You got Dos Anjos right here. So I don't think his heart's in it 100% on here, man, in this fight. So minus 180, you doing anything with that main event, Guru?
I mean, I might play like the over like 3.5 rounds or something, but I don't think I'll play RDA at minus 190. I just don't think there's like a lot of value, but yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna go to decision though.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. This fight is definitely going to the decision. Felder in his last 4 fights, he's gone to the decision, and I believe in his last 2, RDA is also gone to a decision. His last finish came against Kevin Lee. But yeah, this is a lot. They've had a lot of decisions in their career, and this definitely is going to a decision.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Paul Felder's record too, like he doesn't really get that many knockouts.
Yeah, 100%. And if you look at his wins as well, there is, or you got Edson Barboza and Charles Oliveira, but there isn't the incredible wins on his record.
Yeah,
either.
even that in the Edson fight, a lot of people. I mean, I thought he lost that fight. I know a lot of people thought he lost. The second went to Edson too, but.
Yeah, man. So that's the main event right there, man. Let me let's just go ahead and wrap it up. So real quick on this card, Guru, man. So let's give the people that want to gamble out there maybe like 2 plays that you got for the card and maybe a parlay that you like. And Lenny, I know you're not a gambling guy or anything like that, and you're probably not even at the legal age to do it. But let's just say if you was a gambler, and we'll start off with you. So if you was a gambler out there and they said, "Hey, mate, which fighter should I put all my money on in this fight?" And you got 2 options to pick. Which 2 fighters on the card are you going to give them?
In the UK, you have to be 18 to gamble, so I'm legal.
Okay, got it. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. If I was going to bet on 2 fighters, did you say?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, let me take a quick look at the card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, there's some really close fights. It's hard to pick two clear winners. I'll hand it over to Guru, then I'll be back.
Got it. So in other words, he really wants to pick a winner, man. He ain't playing with that shit. He's like, oh hell no, man. I ain't losing this money, man. Smart man when it comes to betting right there. Shit, Guru, real quick, man. Same question though, but let the people out there know if you got any plays or any 2 fighters on there that you like that you can maybe make some money on as a parlay of the week, parlay of the day, how to get you paid on Second South.
Yeah, I mean, I think a parlay you could do maybe is like Abdul Razak and Luis Smolka, and then I think like Corey McKenna is a good play, and then Reese McKee.
Got it. Okay, I like those, man, because I got both of those plays right there as my underdogs on there. So let's keep it going. Nah, man, psych. I don't got those plays on there, man. I was just trying to bait the people out there for the Mecca Challenge, man. Because, you got listeners out there and shit, So, nah, man, I ain't got them people out there, bro. That was just all cap. Go ahead, Lenny, mate. I gave you enough time.
The 2 people I'd probably end up betting on is Luis Smolka and probably Abdul or Razak Alhassan.
Got it. Okay. Not a bad pick right there as well, man. All right, so yeah, man, that was UFC Fight Night right there in the wrap, man. So one other event that we got going on tomorrow, man, you guys want to tune into, that's Bellator, man. It's going to be going down, man. We're going to just give you guys a few of the fights that's on there, so you guys can tune in live with us and watch it, So I'm going to give you guys a few of the fights on there that you guys should be excited for. It's definitely going to be going down, though, with your boy Boston Nick. Money Mo's going to be on there as well. You're going to probably have a Prediction Guru on there. You never know who else is going to be on there as well, but we're going to be breaking down the Contender Series. I'm sorry, not the Contender Series, the Bellator Series tomorrow kicking off, man. So real quick, Lenny, I know you always cover the Bellator events out there, man. What are some of the fights that you're looking forward to on the event tomorrow?
You got Amazov versus Logan Story in that co-main event. They're both undefeated fighters, and one of their has to go 100%, unless they get a draw. But that's unlikely. That's a very, very good fight, and one of them I'm really looking forward to. Logan Story he's a wrestler, a really good wrestler in his own right, but so is Amazov. He's really good on the wrestling as well, and he's got good striking as well. But this is a really good fight, and I can't wait to see this fight.
Yeah, man, you hit it off right there, man. You went straight to the fucking banger, man. Logan Story, man, a lot of people don't know, man. He beat Joaquin Buckley in Bellator, I believe. This guy right here has the potential, to do something in the division right here. The guy he's fighting ain't no joke either on there, man. How you like this fight, Guru?
Yeah, man, it should be a good fight for sure. I mean, both guys are undefeated, and I know they're both grapplers, so it should be a good one.
Hell yeah, man. That's going to be on there. Then you got your boy fighting on there, Aaron Pico, man. He's going to be fighting on the card right there. I mean, he made a few different moves in this camp. He went from fighting with a body camp out here in Long Beach to moved out there, I believe, with Jackson Wink and stuff, changed up his game, start using more of his wrestling and stuff like that. Heavy favorite, though, on there, minus 860 on there. He's fighting John DeJesus on there as well. So, I mean, you got your boy Aaron Pico. He's going to be fighting on Bellator tomorrow. Hey, Lenny, what do you think about your boy Pico tomorrow?
Yeah, 100%. As you said there, Pico used his wrestling in his last fight against Solo Hartley Jr. You know, he looked incredible in his last fight. We saw he used his incredible wrestling, you know, where I think he was a D1 AA wrestler, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a D1 AA wrestler, and now I feel like against John DeJesus, you know, he's 13-8 in his career, has a lot of losses, but since moving to Bellator, you know, he's 1-0, beat a 16-1 Vladislav Parashubalenko. That one's a bit of a difficult one to pronounce, but yeah, he's 1-0 in Bellator. But you know, I feel like Aaron Pico will use his wrestling again, take the fight to the ground, and end up submitting him.
Yep. Hey, Guru, man, I'm gonna go to you on this fighter right here, just because I mean you're all into the jiu-jitsu and everything like that, man. What you know about Cronny Gracie?
Yeah, not that much, man. I mean, he wasn't really on the jiu-jitsu scene that much. I know he's Royce's son and all that, but yeah, I mean, he doesn't have he lost his debut in MMA, right? He lost his first fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not sure about that guy.
Yeah, he lost the division. Lost the decision versus Devon Brock.
The name ain't gonna get you everywhere, man. It's only gonna get you so far. In other words, man, because the Gracies that are decent, we know about, man. We know the names, man. That one doesn't ring a bell on there at all, man. Same here, same story. What about this one on here, man? You got your boy Emmanuel Sanchez. I believe that's Diego Sanchez's brother, man. So the El Matter,
brother, not brothers.
So what, man? I like to say they are, man, because they look alike, man. Let me go with it, man. You got Emmanuel Sanchez, you know, the El Matador right here, minus 255 favorite, you know, brothers of Diego Sanchez right here. You don't see it, bro? Look at the face, man. All right, but yeah, man. But yeah, that's another name on the card that you guys might be familiar with on there. Big heavy favorite on there as well. Lenny, how do you see that fight?
Yeah, this is a really good fight. A fight between two veterans in the sport, especially in Bellator as well. This is the quarterfinals in the Bellator featherweight Grand Prix as well. Whoever wins this, I do believe, moves on to Patricio Pitbull and Pitbull and Pedro, if I'm correct. But yeah, Emmanuel Sanchez on 2-fight winning streak, beating Taiwan Claxton and Georgie Karastadian, or some of these names are difficult to pronounce. But yeah, Daniel Weichel went back to the winning ways against Saul Rogers. But that was a year ago, you know. So Emmanuel Sanchez also fought a year ago, but you know, this is a really good fight. They've been scheduled to fight a few times in the Grand Prix, and it's never came to fruition. But now they finally get to fight. And in the pre-fight interviews, Emmanuel Sanchez said, you know, he wants to put his lights out and make sure he ends this one in spectacular fashion.
Ooh, man, it sounds like they want the smoke right there.
I know the first one. What's his face won? Weichel won.
Yeah,
the first fight.
That's gonna be a banger right there. I mean, main event, titles on the line. Patricky Pitbull right here versus Carvalho. How do you guys what do you guys think about this?
I know Carvalho. I watched that guy's couple. He's a bomb, dude. I mean, that's a horrible fight. That'll be like Pitbull will win easily.
So on this, let me tell you a little bit about it, Guru, because I don't know if you're familiar with this. So this is all for the little championship, for a little tournament and shit. It's been going on for like damn near a year and a half now, man. They prolonged it for damn near 2 years now, to where people forget it's even going on. But look, so this is how it went. The fighters all got to win and move up on a branch, and you got to pick who do you want to fight, right? Everything like that. It was set up. It was set up for him to fight AJ McKee or Caldwell. You know what I mean? Because they got beef, everything like that. Bruh, he picks the lowest seed on the bracket, and it's like, give me him. And it was like trying to be tough about it. So this is how this fight got played out, bro. The champion picked the lowest guy on the panel, on the competition, and it was like, I'm gonna fight him. You know, so yeah, that's how I feel about this one on there, man. That's exactly how I feel about this one. So
I don't know. I mean, that's smart from Patricio. Why fight the tougher guy, you know? If you don't have to.
Yeah.
this fight also means a lot to him because, you know, he wants to take out SBG, and Pedro trains at SBG. So this is another one on his list that he wants to take out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I saw at the weigh-ins, like, Pedro was, like, trying to be, like, all tough and all that, but.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, yeah, that's the Bellator card. So, yeah, so for everybody out there that's going to want to get some bets on it and everything like that and live commentary, tune in to Pub Sports Radio tomorrow. We're going to be covering that as well as some Thursday night football as well, man. That's just how we do it over on Pub Sports Radio. There it is, man. We wrapped up. Lenny, wrapped up an interview with who?
Impa, I will try and pronounce his second name. Impa Kasanganay. I don't know if I got that right, but it's my best bet. But yeah, we wrapped up with an interview. A very cool guy, very down to earth. You know, he believes a lot in his like God's going to take him a far way, and I believe that God's going to take him all the way to the title contention. The guy's incredible to listen to. What he speaks about, his family, how he got his nickname. It's brilliant, and he's definitely a prospect in the division. And that loss against Joey Buckley, that isn't really a loss in his eyes. It's a learning curve, and I can't wait to see him come back.
Hell yeah, man! Cool ass brother right there, man. Like, yeah, I reached out to him a couple of months ago and stuff. You know, been going back and forth. I was like, man, this guy actually like conversates with you, like he knows you and shit. So it's like, all right, man, let's see if we can get him on. Got him on. You know, second UFC fighter right here on Seconds Out. You know, you never know who you might see on there, you know. So, damn, hell yeah, did that. Then we covered pretty much went over a recap on everything that happened last week and all the events, UFC, Corey Anderson, Bellator, everything like that. Then we gave you guys some updated fight news, of course, some of the fights we're looking forward to. Shit, isn't Aldo fighting coming up?
Sorry?
Yeah, there's Cheeto Vera.
Yeah, Aldo's going to be
fighting. Jose, yeah.
Coming up.
That's a banger, man.
That's a banger. We didn't speak on that, but I think we announced that like a few weeks ago and shit. But yeah, I mean, that's a banger right there. I think we talked about the Jack Hermanson, Kevin Holland fight, everything like that. Gave you guys some other news, you know, in Bellator, what was going on and everything. Besides that, wrapped up the up and coming UFC event, covered all that. You know, so thank you guys for staying with us for that. Then gave you guys a little bit of entertainment on the Bellator event. So thank you guys for staying with that. You know, now we're just going to give you guys like a little few minutes, you know, 3-5 minutes, you know what I mean? They're called Remember the Night, Remember the Fight. The fight that we're going to talk about today. Lenny, go ahead. What fight do you think we're going to talk about today?
I think it was TJ Dillashaw versus Cody Garbrandt, number 1.
There you go, baby. There you go, man. That was the fight right there, man. I remember the making of that shit from the Ultimate Fighter. You know, you remember Cody choking up TJ over there. Then you had you had the coach, you know, that was so fucking obnoxious, you know, from Alpha Male over there, you know, just hyping up everything. I forget his name and shit. But yeah, that was the reason why we were talking about that too. Remember the night, remember the fight. Shit, we might get another one of those, you know what I mean? That all came from the Ultimate Fighter. So I think, you know, Ultimate Fighter is going to be coming back, you know, but that's that fight right there, man. What'd you guys think about that fight when it was happening, when it got announced and everything like that?
Yeah, it was a great fight, man. I mean, if you remember, it was like, I think Cody was the big favorite, and then he almost got the finish in the first round, but, you know, TJ survived and then got the finish in the second. But to me, I mean, I don't know. All those fights are kind of like now that Cody popped or TJ popped and everything, it's kind of like a weird, you know. I don't know. It's like it kind of sullies the wins a little bit.
Got it. So you think everything that TJ did, you know, pretty much is just hella tainted, you know, like you're still gonna just like not look at the fights and anything like that happened and shit, or?
No, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just because I mean, Cody was saying that about TJ before the fight even happened. So, I mean,
yeah, he was. And then remember, Cody put out the video of him dropping TJ and shit, right? Like in practice and shit when they were training, right?
Yeah.
The rivalry between these two, they built it up so well. It was incredible.
So, Lenny, like, tell us a little bit about that fight and everything like that when that was first going on and stuff, and what you remember more about that fight.
Yeah, I just remember TJ getting dropped at the end of the round, and him stumbling back to his corners, and he was hurt in that fight by Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt's got power, but when Cody sees the finish, he gets reckless, and he paid for it, and he got taken out by TJ Dillashaw in that fight with hooks, I believe. And didn't he finish up against the cage, or was that the second fight?
Yeah, it was the exact same in both fights, the way he finished him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you were saying, man. It was like Cody was looking real good at the last minute and a half of the first round. Caught TJ, TJ stumbled down like that, and then same thing, instead of Cody, just being a savage and even just running over there and letting off, he kind of like admired it and everything like that, and it was like, all right, and bell rang and stuff like that. Me, big TJ Dillashaw fan. I was shocked, I was like, oh wow, damn, got him like that. All right, so Cody goes back into his corner, he's all hype. He think he's got the game in the bag. Different second round. I don't even think that fight got out the second round, I believe, right?
Nope, finished in the second round yet.
There we go. So, TJ Dillashaw comes back, implements a little bit of different game plan on there. He's one of those tricky guys on his feet, because he implements that Dominique Cruz type of footwork, everything like that. But yeah, man, finally got the job done. Knocks him out, after he knocks him out or whatever, like gets all up in his face when like Cody tries to run up to him and shakes his hand like, oh, he was just, the reason why he did that is because he wanted to sock him again, bro. I know that feeling to where you're just like, and it's just like, nah, I'm still so amped, man. I should just hurt you right now, man. The way that he looked at him and just yelled at him was like Ian Kutalaba, how he does at the weigh-ins to Khalil Roundtree type shit, bro. For real, man. But shit, yeah, that was the fight, man. To me, that was a big fight because Cody Garbrandt was damn near like untouchable at the time, and shit, he was like the kind of like the gangster of the division to me, you know what I mean? So, and the thug, you know what I mean? Hence the name, Cody No Love, all that shit. But yeah, that was one of the fights right there, man. So I really looked up to it. I was a big TJ Dillashaw fan from The Ultimate Fighter. Shit, I remember on there, I think it was the Uriah Faber season. Yeah, it was that shit, and I think he picked him and everything like that. And yeah, I mean, I've been rocking with him ever since. But yeah, when I found out about the steroids, man, and shit, just the extent that it was to where it's like they're telling me, I think it's like some shit called like EPO, and it's not even just like steroids, like when like the athletes get hit steroids is like HGH, this, that. Some shit that everybody heard of. Man, that shit hurt me hard, bro. I was like, what? The little white dude? Nah, man. Like, come on, bro. So, yeah, man. But reason why we talking about it, though, man, TJ Dillashaw is going to be making his return, baby. Redemption season is here. Can he pull it off? I hope so. Big TJ Dillashaw fan. Still, through the wins, through the losses, it is what it is, But yeah, man, that's just what we wanted to talk about on this one, man. Remember the night, remember the fight. Next week is probably gonna be somebody else, something else like that. If you guys got any suggestions out there, you guys want to talk about, throw them in the chat or hit us on a DM or anything like that in a comment. We'll definitely take that in consideration and everything like that, man. So let's shout out some of the chat's comments real quick on this fight. My bad, man. That's how it goes. Let's see. TJ Dillashaw implements all steroids possible. Let's see. That's coming from Sleepy Joe. Yeah, I mean, steroids definitely do enhance certain things, but it's not all to it. Let's see. You got Slaughter saying Dotson knocked his ass out. Yeah, I do remember that. Let's see. What else do people remember about this? TJ versus Cody was the 135 version versus Rockhold versus Weidman. That's from Notorious right there. Okay, let's see. All right. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the chat right there, man. That's the show in one right there, man. So just want to give everybody some love out there for rocking with us, man, throughout this whole show right here. Lenny, man, go ahead. Let these people know where they can catch you at, your handle and everything like that.
Yeah, MMA Unhinged 01 on Instagram and MMA Unhinged on the rest of the platforms. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, catch me on there, doing interviews. Interview with Cameron, I'll do a bit of an exclusive here, but English fighter Cameron Elsey fought against Kyler Phillips the other week, and I got him coming on. It was an hour-long interview with him. We talked about him when he was in the Power Troopers and stuff like that. It was a really good interview. Make sure to catch that on MMA Unhinged YouTube channel in the next coming days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Hey, Guru, go ahead, man. I don't even know why you got to announce your shit. Everybody already knows like that, but go ahead and give them a plug and where they can catch you at.
Yeah, man. You can find me on MMAPredictionGuru on YouTube, Prediction MMA on Twitter, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how it goes. Yeah, man. Everybody out there, you can catch me on MMA Locker Room, just like it is right there. That's on my Instagram, on my Twitter. It's just one word, MMA Locker Room right there. That's where I do all my work. YouTube channel, really don't do too much on there. But so if you want to catch me, that's the best place to find me at. Shout out to Mr. Arkansas out there, man. The Mecca competition is officially going down this first week. So yeah, man, we're going to be kicking that off. Should be a lot of fun. Everybody needs to tune into that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Mr. Arkansas, go ahead, hit him up on YouTube right now. And I believe he has his Twitter out as well, man. All right, man, we're going to wrap it up, man. It's, what is it? It's 9 o'clock right here, West Coast Cali time. Lenny, what time is it?
It's 5 a.m.
God damn. That's what's up. Guru, where you at with the time?
It's 9, man.
Same time, same mimes. You know where to catch us at next time. Seconds out, you already know. Forget about them other MMA shows. You heard Impa Kasanganay say it. We the best out. Catch you next week, you guys.
Thank you.